Hey everybody, Hoang Zero here, and today we are going to do an entire set review of the BT7 set. Joining me today are four of my mods who are experienced in the BT7 format. If you guys want to introduce yourselves.
Hey, I'm Karan. I am Alex's closest friend, and I main yellow.
Hey, I am ZeroRaven. I am the other half of the channel.
I'm Llama, and I'm just here for fun.
I'm Tesero. I play purple.
Okay, and so you may notice that on the screen there are some little images representing the Digimon that we each really like. And so what's going to happen, just for a little bit of clarity's sake, when everyone at home watches this video, is that whenever one of us speaks, the image will move to indicate that that person is speaking, to make it so a little less chaotic, right? But in this video, we will be grading each individual card based on a grading metric that we have created. And we have three criteria that we will be looking at. Criteria number one is the impact of the card. So the impact of the card is when the card is initially played, how much does it actually impact the state of the game? Right? So some cards say Gaia Force, when you drop it, very, very great impact, right? Because obviously you're removing any body that you want. Efficiency is how well or how good is the card given the cost of it. So some cards do too much for too little of a cost, and some cards do too little for too much of a cost, right? And so the efficiency of a card is another grading criteria that we want to look at. And then our last criteria is synergy, which is how well is the card doing in the context of its color. So sometimes we have a really fantastic card that just doesn't make sense whatsoever given the context of the color that it resides in. So those are the three grading criteria that we will be looking at when we are evaluating every single card from the BT7 set. Yeah, so the first one we're going to look at is Kabuterimon, the red Digitama from this set. Kabuterimon is, during your turn, while you have a Tamer in play, this Digimon gets plus 1000 DP. Anyone want to take the floor on this one first?
Is okay. It's very low impact because red is a color that has a lot of DP gain eggs already. So it's not a egg that particularly does a lot for the color in terms of, hey, like this egg provides something red didn't have before, right? Because it already gained 1000 DP. And the condition of needing a tamer is good in context of decks that want to establish and set up tamer early, but not every deck want to do that, and often the decks that want early DP gain are usually the aggro deck, and they may not have the need to set up a tamer. So in cases like that, where you want the early DP, there's other option that you could run, like Digimon.
Well, there are red decks that want to play Tamer. There are red hybrids, right? From what I've
Right.
seen, most red hybrid decks run this as their A at 4.
Yeah, so I think given the context of this set, right, where we're placing a really huge emphasis on red hybrids and whatnot, I think, and red hybrids is probably arguably the best red deck in the set, right? A red deck in the format, given that Jesmon's the only other contender, really. I don't think anyone's going to disagree with that.
Arguably, Jesmon is better because Jesmon hasn't been hit yet in this
Wait,
point of time.
What did I say?
Yep.
Red hybrid, and did I say Jesmon?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I think Jesmon is very, very good. I think Jesmon is fantastic. But I think red hybrid is also really, really good. I think this egg overall is like very middle of the roadish, if you will. Obviously, efficiency doesn't really apply to Digitamas, given that they don't have an actual cost besides hatching them. The impact of the card, plus 1000 DP, it's nice. It can come up, definitely, especially if you're playing red hybrid. But as far as synergy goes, like it was pointed out, not every red deck relies heavily on their tamers. So if I were to give this card a grade, honestly, this is kind of, I don't know, where do we think? Like maybe like a B, maybe?
Honestly, C tier probably.
C tier?
It's a C tier.
Okay.
It's not a bad card, but it's like it exists.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think C tier can work as kind of like our baseline.
Okay.
Like,
Okay.
see, like the average card.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think.
Weymon is very much like an average card.
Yeah, I think C tier cards is like you can take it or leave it. It's whatever.
Okay.
B tier are actually improvement to the color, right?
Yeah. So next we do have Bukamon. Bukamon is once per turn. During your turn, when you play a Digimon from one of your sources, you can gain 1 memory.
Why don't you take this use
Yeah,
in one of your favorite
Mr.
deck?
Well, me, okay. So in Weymon, this egg is busted. This egg
Right.
is super busted in Weymon. But Weymon is probably not a titan of the meta, if you will. That's more than likely going to be blue hybrid with the MagnaGaruru and whatnot. And I know Llama here, who is represented by the HerculesKabuterimon, he plays a lot of blue hybrid. So Llama, how do you feel about this one?
For blue hybrids, I mean, there are some times where it can come up, but I don't. This probably isn't the egg you want to focus on. But I do still think it's still a good card, right? Gaining memory is always good, and especially on a Digitama, we don't see that much memory gain effects, which is always nice to have. And it's definitely good in like future sets because we see this playing from sources effect is like constantly updated and constantly gets new support. Or maybe not
Right.
constantly, but every so often gets some support here or there. So it's definitely one of the better eggs. Not just like for now for some decks that exist such as Weymon, but future support as well.
Yeah, so I think one of the notable things regarding Bukamon is actually, well, in future sets, in terms of that, MetalGarurumon with the Chimeramon. I know a lot of people were playing that because you just jog into Chimeramon and then go into the Metal but I could have sworn there was a blue hybrid deck that was playing Bukamon, right, from DPP, I believe it was. Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, the list playing Leopardmon.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
Yeah.
was
it was Leopardmon hybrid.
yeah, essentially like a lot more rush instead of like the control. Oh god, the control that is
Yeah.
offered by like MagnaGaruru. You get to like use Leopardmon to play out your hybrids, and they get jamming.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a bunch of little bodies that just keep poking at your opponent until they deal with it. And Bukamon just helps you generate value
Right.
off of the Leopardmon.
So I think given that Bukamon actually contributes something unique to the color, as he's playing the future, it's one of the cruxes for Leopard hybrid. I feel like maybe I don't think C is appropriate for Bukamon. Maybe like a B. How do you guys feel about this?
I,
It's-
s-
You think
I
it's
still
C?
think
so.
C. I honestly think C as
Okay.
well.
Okay.
It's a good card, but it's not
Uh,
like super impactful.
Memory's
I
pretty high.
actually I would argue is B because memory gain is much more impactful.
Mm-hmm.
Um, especially for the type of deck that want to play this type of egg with setup decks. So being able to say, like for example, just evolving and not passing turn on Leopardmon is pretty huge already, right?
Yeah.
So I do think I think it's B for that reason.
Yeah. I think memory gaining in general, cards that gain memory are pretty nice. And this next egg though, oof, big oof.
I'll take this.
Oh,
This egg is terrible
okay. Why?
Oh,
Why is that, huh?
because first of all, yellow Digiburst Digimon are on average terrible.
What, you don't like
You
Rosinmon, bro?
you're not you most of them are not good enough to see play anymore. And this egg is also restricted to realistically being once per stack when there are other yellow eggs that achieve the same thing on attack. There's not enough situation where this would come up. There's really rarely any reason to play this egg over another yellow egg.
All right.
I agree with what
Mm-hmm.
Zero says on it. Thing is though, like it's it's just overcosted technically for what it is. Cause yeah, you have to kill it for -1k. It's good for like Digiburst on cards like War Growlmon as well. So like, -5k is pretty good, but it there's just better yellow stuff, right? Yellow eggs right now to compare to like Koromon, Pikmon, even who's
Upa.
now once per turn.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I thought I missed Upa. Yeah,
Yeah.
but Upa is like the yellow card,
All right. So like
Uh,
this is a D tier card, right? Like I think we
yeah,
can all we can
100%.
Yeah.
all agree on that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yellow level 5 are also very competitive. So
Yeah, yellow level fives are so crazy.
War Growl often just does not make the list. So
Exactly.
All right, Koromon. When attacking, you reveal the top card of your deck and place it on top or bottom. I mean,
This is a gotcha green card.
this is exclusively a gotcha green card. In the context of green, it doesn't actually do anything because it doesn't actually advance your board state. It doesn't give you any plus whatsoever. It's just you decided to play the RNG deck. Let's try to mitigate some of that RNG deck. But then the RNG deck itself isn't really great. Llama, how do you feel about this? I know you play a lot of green.
Yeah, pretty much just what you said. There's not like it's exclusively gacha green, so like it doesn't really have an impact on the color itself, and the impact of the card itself isn't even that high. Like you said, it just mitigates the RNG, but you're still playing and building around an RNG based mechanic, so it's not it's not that great.
So I mean, it's just I think it's a D tier, right?
I will argue, it's an egg with a unique effect.
Okay, but do you think the unique effect is like warranting something where we place it in a higher tier? Also, I'm gonna make a category for vanillas because we have a couple vanilla repeats.
Yeah. Here's the argument, right?
Okay.
Like, the type of gacha green support playstyle can always just get more cards, right? In the future. And if that type of playstyle get more card in the future, then you automatically default to this egg.
But would you?
It's
like, do
yeah.
you actually default to this egg? Because I don't think you do.
If they start getting cards for like when a champion attacks, look at the top cards, involved for free, like I don't see the problem with that. That's pretty strong for early game too, and this helps you like guarantee it even faster.
Yeah, like on swing, look at top card evolve for free. Like all they have to do is print an additional level 4 and additional level 5 that does that, and this egg will be like significantly better.
This also could fix Tentomon as well if you like you want to play it, but like I don't know what card is on top. You swing, you check it to Tamer or options. Like all right, back to the bottom you go.
So Koro in the context of set 7, it's like a D. Is anyone gonna argue with that? No?
Yeah, no, not at all.
No one's gonna argue it. Yeah, okay. Koro maybe in the future gets better, right? But this set review is in the context of set 7, so Koro's a D, right? But then we have Dorumon. Ooh, I love this art. I love Dorumon art.
Best egg.
Yeah, best egg actually. It's Sasai, and then it was also updated to be an X antibody, which is super huge. So Dorumon is once returned when one of your effects places a Digivolution card under this Digimon, draw 1.
The entire X evolution deck is revolved around adding source.
Yeah.
And you otherwise would like lose hand size doing that. This means you maintain your hand size, and it lets the X antibody deck draw through the deck actually really, really quickly as long as you're like popping off.
Yeah, I mean, Tesero sums it up really well. You're constantly putting sources into your Digimon, so you're losing hand size, but Dorumon is here to mitigate that. I think one of the bigger things is that a lot of your Digimon check for X antibody. How many X antibodies do you have in source, kind of thing. And Dorumon, being considered an X antibody, right, that it contributes towards that number. And so in the context of the deck, in the context of what it actually accomplishes, I honestly feel like this is an A, right?
Yeah, possibly.
It's certainly the best egg here.
Yeah,
it's definitely the big egg. The only argument you would make it is X antibody worthy of being A tier in BT7.
I think within the confines of what it tries to accomplish, what it actually does for the deck, and how well it does for the color, I think it's like an A. I think if X antibody was a super high tier deck, I'd arguably bump it to an S, honestly.
Sure. I do think this egg is just amazing in X antibody, and it will be really hard for them to print a future egg that just makes you want to play it over this, because you literally draw card for playing the deck.
Because last I checked, the other X antibody eggs were all plus DP, right?
Right.
The one other one, yeah.
This is easily the best. Yep, this is easily the best egg.
Yeah. Okay, and then we have Kokomon. When attacking, you can reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, discard 1 Tamer card from them, and return. I can't even finish that. That's so bad. Tesero, you want to take this one away?
Why would you ever play this over Pagu? Why would you, like, in a deck that wants to fill your trash, play a card that just bottom decks 3 cards most of the time, and only trashes like the specific card type for like a specific type of deck? And like, there's so many better ways to like get Tamers into your trash, right? It's like why would you be playing this over say Pagumon, over say Demi-Meramon, especially Demi-Meramon. Demi-Meramon has so much better applications in this. Being able to draw the card and choose what you're discarding, which means you don't always have to discard specifically the Tamer if you need to like have other setups needed. Like even if you are playing Cherubimon,
Yeah, so all those points are very valid. Kokomon, even
Yeah.
in the context of its own deck, it's not really doing more than any of the other eggs could do.
Do we have an F tier?
Dude, there should be enough tier for Kokomon, shit. Alright, and then Toy Agumon, vanilla, because we already have 2 cost vanillas, and then we get to Flamemon. Flamemon is on play. Reveal the top 4 cards of your deck. Add 1 Digimon card with hybrid in its form, Susanomon or Takuya among them to your hand. Place the rest at the bottom. On deletion, play 1 Takuya from your hand without it paying its cost. This is a good card. This is like a really good card.
This card has like, it just fits the deck so well in
Yeah.
hybrid.
I
Searcher
would
as well as
argue-
comparable.
I would argue this card is undercosted for its effect.
Yeah.
Oh,
For
100.
what it actually does, yeah, this card is like phenomenal. Not
Right, because
Mhm.
you compare it to most searcher, right? Most searcher are top 3 usually,
Mhm.
or because you compare it to even the old Flamemon. Old Flamemon was top 3, I believe.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So this is top 4. It hit hybrid, it hit Susano, and then it hit Takuya. So it's a little bit more restricted in terms it doesn't hit all Tamer. So that's a pretty good effect. But on top of that, it has a really good ESS.
Yeah, the ESS is amazing. Being able to play your Takuya for free is super, super good.
I think the only downside to this card is just it only has 1 card from top 4, but even then, the fact that it still hits a wide variety of cards for the deck.
I think the one negative you can say to this card in comparison to the previous Flamemon is it only grabs Takuya. It doesn't grab any Red Tamer.
It doesn't hit generic Tamers.
Yeah. But I do want to point out that Flamemon says any card with hybrid. Any hybrid. So a lot of decks that we saw in Japanese formats actually started using Strabimon and Flamemon from this set in their other hybrid colors because they would search any hybrid. So for example, Desi, who is a green advocate, he lives in Japan, he plays a lot of green, he ran red-based green hybrids because green's only searcher was Betamon, and that it's not exactly the best thing in the world. And it also just didn't have a lot of removal. So by playing Flamemon in a red egg base, not only do you gain access to cards like Atomic Blaster and Lightning Joust, but you can get just a solid searcher.
Yep.
So honestly, cards like Flamemon, cards like Strabimon, I'm almost like AS, like somewhere in between there, maybe.
Yeah, this is definitely at least A.
It's at least
often,
yeah.
Whenever I play the deck, oftentimes, if I have the memory to drop this early, I would just drop this, evolve over it, and it's like, I can just keep swinging with it. If it dies, and I have a Takuya in my hand, it's just a free Takuya. It's so much value.
Yeah. Okay, Karan, did you want to say something?
No, he said everything, basically. Okay. Card's just value.
So the next card is Huckmon, God Bless. We're here, Jesmon stands, rise up. When attacking, once per turn, reveal the top 5 cards of your deck, add all cards with Sistermon in their name to your hand, place the rest on the bottom. So in testing, this card is actually very excellent. It is a huge consistency booster to the already non-consistent Jesmon. So by fixing your consistency, it feels really great. You're able to filter your deck significantly as well. But it doesn't search Jesmon pieces, like it doesn't search your saviors and whatnot. It specifically searches your sisters. So given that is actually the case, it honestly is like a B tier card for me, because it's a consistency booster. It finds your sisters, but it doesn't solve the core issue of Jesmon.
It's F tier when you bot deck two savior.
Yeah, like when you whiff and you bot deck the 4 of card savior, yeah, it sucks. So like this is like a B for me personally.
It's solid.
Sure. But it's designed for you for when you already have the Jesmon.
Yeah.
Especially considering it's an inheritable.
Right. Okay, and then we have Tuskmon. Okay, Tuskmon. It's when digivolving, one of your Digimon gets plus 2,000 DP. It's just Maramon, guys.
D tier.
Can we put this in vanilla tier? Because it might as well be one.
Yeah.
No, it has an effect. It has an effect. We have to be a little respectful, okay?
Yeah.
I mean, it exists. It's a C tier card, I think. It just doesn't do anything.
Nah, dude, this is a D tier card.
Yeah, I definitely D tier, dude.
But the art is drawn by Koki, so maybe it's a C tier because of that now. And then we have Burning Greymon. Burning Greymon is a 3 cost over level 3, 1 cost over level 4. You may digivolve this card from your hand onto one of your red Tamers as if the Tamer was a level 3 for the cost of 2. And when digivolving, if this Digimon's Digivolution source has Hybrid or Takuya, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 4,000 or less DP. This is a good card.
It's pretty fantastic.
This is
4K is a pretty good threshold to hit.
Yeah, I think it's A tier.
Like this Burning Greymon is a really fantastic card. Like, well, first of all, being able to digivolve over your Tamers for 2, ginormous, huge, right? Normally it costs 3 to go over level 3s, but it treats your Tamers at level 3, and that only costs 2. So being able to digivolve over Tamers for 2 sets up a lot of lethal thresholds. And then popping 4,000 DP means you're popping Bokomon, or as we like to call him, Brokomon. So yeah, Burning Greymon I think is just a really good A tier card. What does everyone else think?
Being a 6K hybrid is also pretty relevant for Takuya's effect as well, especially when you combine it with cards like Atomic Blaster. That's a common strategy to use as well.
So just for a little bit of context for everyone watching, Takuya is this Digimon gets plus 2,000 DP. ESS, and so it doesn't hit the 10,000 DP threshold, obviously, but that's okay because hitting 2,000 DP means you're breaking 8,000 DP with Burning Greymon, and 8,000 does mean you break over almost every level 5 in the game, minus like a few like Lady Devimon. That's huge. That's super huge.
Yeah, one other use that this card has that is kind of undervalued is that it can evolve over itself.
Yeah.
One. So a lot of times, against like type of deck that want to rush you or just establish a live rookie early, you can evolve this for 2 and then evolve another copy of itself and pop 2 targets. And then you also set up extra sources.
I've also used that ability to make a bigger red stack for even bigger Ancient Greymon with more checks.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you can make a gigantic Ancient Greymon off of it. It's really strong.
What's up,
another
Karan?
tech?
Yeah.
Another tech for this as well, and this goes for yellow. So because you can stack this, and then if you evolve on top of BT4 Rise Greymon, you can use this ability to Digiburst 2, play a Tamer for free twice.
Oh, that's smart. Yeah, that's really smart. I didn't think about that. Yeah. Okay. No. Yeah. Burning Greymon. Honestly, we're making it sound like an S tier card.
It's really good. It's honestly
I think this might
good,
unironically,
but I don't think.
Not yet.
Not necessarily.
That should be reserved for a couple of very special cards in the set.
Yeah, no, it's just a very solid card. It's very good, but I think it's on the top A tier.
Like top of it. Okay, I mean, like none of this is actually in order, so it's whatever. But
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but I would argue this is like on the verge of S tier, but it's not quite.
So I think while we're here, let me just go ahead and like get all the vanillas out of here. Let's just save ourselves that headache. Where are some other vanillas?
Herculesmon has amazing art though.
Harrismon might as well be a vanilla.
Oh, my favorite one's Triceromon from this.
Should we just add that as like as one of the teams might as well be vanilla?
Might as well be vanilla.
Generics.
Okay, I think that's all the vanillas. We got all the vanillas? Yeah, that's all of them. Okay, so the next card on the list is MetalGreymon. This is the first SR that we are going to talk about. On play, if you have a Tamer in play, gain 2 memory. If you don't have a Tamer in play, you may play a red Tamer from your hand without paying its cost. ESS, when your opponent's Digimon is deleted, gain 1 memory. So this card, I keep wanting to make it work. I try really hard to make this card work because I want to justify purchasing the alt art, and it's just never worth it.
The big issue with this card and its equivalent is the first skill is like, hey, when you want to play this and get a free Tamer off of it, right? It costs 7, and generally when you're playing without Tamer already, and you're playing something for 7, you're passing over 5 or 6, so that's really bad. The other thing is even a hard slam at 5 is okay, but it doesn't feel good. Because 7K is just very easy for very easy for decks in the meta to deal with. So it's not the greatest feeling to have to slam this card.
Thing is too with this card, if you hard slam it to play the Tamer, you technically make more value than when the Tamer's already on the field, just because of how much like memory cost that Tamer could be. Like if you just set down a 4 cost, you're already guaranteed 3 memory for next turn. You can turn this into a mega, go on from there, like if it lives. But like if you already have a Tamer and you play this, like you essentially just play like a
You just play Groundramon, bro.
Exactly, yeah, you just play Groundramon, but with an inheritable ability.
Yeah, but Groundramon's always a 5 cost, whereas this is, not.
I think the best part about this card is the inheritable, but
the inheritable is really good.
Yeah, I think what you can say about this card is when you want to play this card, you're already breaking, right? When your deck is functioning properly, you don't want to hard slam this card, so it's in that range for me.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like for me, I don't think it's a D tier card. But it's
ESS is nice, but it's not like nice enough for you to like build this in raising.
Yeah, I feel like this is like a C tier card. Honestly, it just the primary value or the primary function of it comes when you hard slam it. But if you're hard slamming it, then you're putting yourself into a really awkward position most of the time.
Yeah, there used to be like a style of deck where you like hard slammed 5s to go into like 6s, so like a Megazoo style. But that style of deck really died off this set.
Yeah, but just ever since BT05 and BT06, giving over a bunch of memory, it's just too detrimental to your game state.
Okay, so next we have Aldamon, who is the first hybrid level 5 we're going to talk about. Aldamon costs 3 to digivolve over a level 4, but if you digivolve this card over a Digimon that has a Tamer in its source, you may reduce the cost by 2, so it becomes a 1 cost evolution. And when digivolving, if this Digimon has a Digimon card with hybrid underneath, it gets plus 4,000 DP, so you do hit 12,000. And during your turn, ESS, it becomes an ADP if it's underneath hybrid or 10 warrior.
Absolute fantastic.
Yeah,
card.
This card's crazy.
All the cost reducing level 5 hybrids are like insane. And this one's just no different, honestly.
Yeah, like
I'm a little bit.
Gets you into Takuya range. It's a level 5 that costs 1 that can attack over most like megas as well because it hits 12k. Or actually, it hits 14k with Takuya. In fact.
Yeah, it's 14 with Takuya.
And it gets a plus 1. It's great for aggro and that ESS. Oh my god.
I'm honestly upset. This card is not SR over MetalGreymon because this card is so good and it deserves an alternate art. This card deserves an alternate art over MetalGreymon.
Yeah,
it's so good.
I think we have a gentleman's agreement right now that like all these reduced cost hybrids should be like B tier minimum.
No, I
like even
yeah.
even
no,
the bad
I think you can argue they're A tier minimum because one cost level 5 are just insane.
Okay, so,
there's so much for your game plan.
So really,
I would say this is better than Burning Gray, and Burning Gray is A tier.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Okay, so really,
this is easily the best card we've seen in this set so far.
I do want to say I had a conversation with Max Tapera earlier, and he was talking about cards like Cutemon and stuff, preventing you from reducing the cost by to go into the level 5s. Do we feel like English specifically, because I know JP did not play a lot of Cutemon, do we think English is going to like start spamming cute cards like Cutemon and the
just Burning Gray it?
Yeah.
Burning Gray Llama.
Yeah, and in context of this color, you have Burning Gray, so it's hardly even an issue.
Okay, so we're hyping up Aldamon. Aldamon is a fantastic card that does absolute wonders for the deck and the color in general. It can also be used in other hybrids because using cards like Takuya and Koji, you can shove it underneath like your MagnaGaruru stack when we get there, and it gives it it gives it ADP. Is this an S tier card?
Honestly, I feel like
I would not be mad if you put it in S tier.
Yeah, same.
It's like I feel like it's teetering there, it's teetering.
Yeah, it's closer than Burning Greymon.
I think we can go back to it for tier list wise, like A tier for now, but like when we see other cards and like at the end maybe bump it up.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
I think we can revisit. It's very good.
There's one card in my mind that is definitively S tier. Don't say its name. Can't say its name out loud yet, but
there's 3 in my mind.
There's 3.
At least.
Wow.
Oh, I think
I think 3, maybe 4.
I think there's at least 4. I have 4 definite S tier.
Okay. When we get there, you guys gotta point it out. But so the next card on the list is AvengeKidmon. When playing this card from your hand, reduce its memory by 1 for each option in you and your opponent's trash. On play, return all cards with 3 muskets in their trait and all options from both players' trash to the bottom of the decks. If 7 or more cards are returned using this effect, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 3 muskets in its trait or 8,000 DP or less. So
on the surface, this looks like it's just anti-musket tech, but I've seen a number of like just control decks run this, especially ones that are heavily like option based like security control. This card is just solid all around, just for like keeping you away from decking yourself out,
Yeah.
recycling your resources and such.
Hilariously, this card is used more often just as a hey, I don't deck out.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's just really funny.
and I've seen that funny like infinite loop meme decks that run this too.
Karan, did you have something you want to say about this card?
I mean, everyone else said it pretty well.
Mhm.
It's three Musk, but it's better off in decks like Seccon and, as Tesero said, some loop decks as well.
So given that AvengeKidmon doesn't actually do anything in the context of the color, it's not super high impactful for the most part, right? It's specifically for control decks, for grind heavy decks that want to prevent deck out. It's not a D. It's obviously not a D, but I kind of struggle putting this into B. It kind of like sits in C for me, honestly.
I think C.
Honestly, I'd argue B.
You think it's a D?
I
I think it's a B.
Oh, a B. Okay, why?
I think the impact is actually pretty high on this card, especially
Okay.
once you get like enough options in there where it's relatively cheap.
Mm-hmm. So
I think the fact that it doesn't affect the color that much doesn't matter because it's not even this. It's like it's red on the surface, but it's not even really designed to be played as like a red deck card, right?
It's designed as multicolor. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
so,
it's an on-play effect. It's a super splashable one.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Tesero's for a B. Llama, Karan, and James. Where do you guys put this?
I'm still going with C on
C?
it. Like, it's more so just the fact that like I agree with a lot of Tessero's points. The thing is, I just don't see it as like a meta-defining card in this like format itself because we're judging by set 7.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good tech card for like those decks that use it, but they're not like, oh, I have to like play this card or else
Right.
some people don't even play it.
James and Llama, what do you guys feel?
I think for like the criterion we established,
Mhm.
I think it'd go under C because like if we're looking at the context of its color, for red specifically, it's barely played, right? It's played mostly as like an off-color splash card, and while for efficiency, it is pretty good that like if you have enough options to put back. But I think, for example, the impact might sometimes be lacking because like, or I guess not because you're using it most of the time to like refill your deck.
Mm-hmm.
But I think like specifically the synergy one is just like it doesn't really have synergy with a lot of other stuff aside from like just making sure I don't want to deck out, so I'm going to run like 2 of this card to ensure that.
Mm-hmm.
Is just like what I think. So I think it is like fine at C tier.
Okay, and James?
I will argue it's B tier because of this. I think Lilith Loop is gonna be very popular in BT7 in English.
Oh.
Did they
And-
not? Is it an MDF hit?
No, you can play without MDF.
You can play without
It
MDF.
becomes a Cerberus loop.
It's still playable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you also have win rate.
Yep.
It's hit, but it's not dead.
Yeah, and then I think the Iceman engine enable the deck a lot, just in terms of how much cycle and everything it gives the deck, and the ability to dig through your deck incredibly fast. I think this card will help. We'll see play in that variant of Lilith Loop.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, and I don't feel like the whole like lacking color synergy is that relevant. It's like if you would value MagnaGaruru that way because that card isn't like played that much in like mono yellow
Right.
mono yellow deck,
Uh-huh.
but like it's like staple and like security control. And I feel
Yeah.
like you have to evaluate this card in a similar sense.
Mhm.
Yeah, just because I think Loop is gonna be very popular in BTO7, and this card definitely has a place, and we'll probably see play.
Okay.
And it also remove one of the biggest weaknesses of the deck is like if your deck is you're trying to mill through your deck as much as possible to get all your pieces and everything, right? And the Iceman engine definitely enabled that, and all your other mill cards. But the issue you do run into is like, hey, sometime I hit my pieces too late, and I'm gonna deck out because of it. Well, this card solved that problem completely.
I'm fine with it being in C as long as it's like a high C.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think this is a high C. I agree with like everyone that just spoke. Everyone had valid points, right? Like it's very true everything I just got said. But I think overall it's too niche and too fringe for me to be comfortably putting it in B. So like I think high C is like where I'm kind of like at right now.
Like Holy
fair.
Dramon, like mentioned before,
Yeah.
the security control kind of falls off quite a bit this set.
Yeah, that's another thing. Security control is a lot weaker this set, because obviously you can't pop Tamers with your security.
It's just a better deck too,
Okay,
but
so
we'll get to that.
Yeah.
So we do have EmperorGreymon. This is the next SR in the set. It is 4 cost, level 6. When digivolving, Blitz, and for those of you that do not know, Blitz is only when you pass the turn over at your opponent with 1 or more memory. Once per turn. When this Digimon is blocked, untap it and then gain 1 memory for every source with hybrid in this Digimon's source. I think it's like a B. It's
Really?
like, yeah, it's
I feel like if they put like Burning Gray in A, then it should be Emperor Gray should be in A.
really.
I feel like
I feel like you can't judge it by the when blocked effect. And I know like blockers are like gone in this meta, but like Emperor Gray is like arguably one of the reasons blockers are gone from the meta.
Okay.
this
It's because of cards like
amazing.
Emperor Gray. They just punish people from using blockers.
Okay, Karan.
So with because we didn't talk about it yet, but the Takuya, because we talked a little bit about it, this card becomes he just becomes a monster on his own with just that card as well. And then Blitz, this can steal games because of it, because now you don't have to just play a hybrid, still be your turn and swing for game. You could just do this last, kind of like a Blitz Omni play per se, as well as let's say it's still your turn while you attack with this behemoth. You can just go on to Blitz Omni if you really want to. The card's just flexible too, and if I recall, you can put blue hybrids under it, which some people
Yes,
used
with
to do like a
Takuya.
mixed hybrid deck.
Yeah. So how I feel about EmperorGreymon is that he has a very specific purpose, to be obviously pressuring your opponent. And like you guys said, he in that sense he is very flexible. But in the same sense, I don't think he's as flexible as Burning Greymon is. Burning Greymon is very low investment, right? It has removal. It can set up a lot of your future plays as well. Just in general, I think Burning Grey is the much more versatile card. I could definitely see an argument for Emperor being an A. I can also see an argument being made for very high B, because like I said, I think it's like for a very specific game plan in mind.
Yeah, I think if you play Takuya, then he's A, obviously. But outside the Takuya deck, right? Like, just look at him on the basis of him being a card. He's essentially just worse EX1 War Greymon.
I mean, you can say the same thing about Burning Gray as well, because his ability is also tied to Takuya.
Yeah. So I think
fair enough. That's fair.
I think for me, if we do put Emperor in A, I think it's like a low A for me. I like a low, maybe like mid low A. I can't put it in high A.
Yeah, I don't know. I argue he's I think he's lower impact.
Yeah. I think the rest of Red Hybrid kind of carries him a little bit.
I feel like he can be pretty high impact once you use him with Takuya, because Takuya allows him to put like a ton of sources under him, which allows you to put like a bunch of the relevant effects, like the Aldamon ADP effect. It gives him the security tech +1 from the Takuya.
Right.
And it can give him like piercing too, which means that you can, when you blitz attack, if you attack over something, you get to piercing as well.
Yeah. I
That's
think
fair,
I think the card in the vacuum is underwhelming, but all of his support is good.
Yeah.
And
So like I said, it's Emperor Grey.
His synergy score is super high.
Yeah, the synergy is high. Emperor Grey on its own, it's very mild. Emperor Greymon in the context of everything surrounding it, it's a good card.
This is not a level 6 that you just randomly play in another deck. Doesn't have hybrid.
I think at this point we can all more or less agree. Like, it's an A tier card. Where in A tier we place it, that's up for a discussion. But we don't have forever.
We're just ranking. We're not like
ordering
ordering it.
Exactly. But ChaosGreymon is next. ChaosGreymon is level 6 that comes. It costs 4 over level 5 red and level 5 black, and your Machine Germon can digivolve into this card for 1, ignoring the digivolution requirements. When you digivolve into this card, you may place 1 red or black level 5 card with Cyborg from your hand or trash on top of this Digimon sources to delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 6,000 DP or less for every level 5 with Cyborg in this Digimon source. So I was not a super big Machinedramon player. So I'm gonna look to you guys on this one a little bit.
I got
It's
nothing.
I played the deck a little bit.
Mhm.
This card's B tier.
Okay, why?
Okay, it's B tier because the deck is still not that good even with this card, right? Like it helps the deck quite a bit because oftentimes what happens is you play Machinedramon, your opponent is either going to ignore it and try to punch to it, and if you don't have blocker sources, or they'll have to force the widow away at your sources, right?
Mhm.
Um, and this card helps with that because it recover like the big effect is that it recover one of your sources for one, and then it kind of won the strategy against Machinedramon, which is just going away. Like against Machinedramon, what happens if you have the blocker set up, your opponent, if they can't punch it with, and if they don't play stuff like de-evolution, and they don't play yellow for minus DP, what happens is they just go wide, and you kind of struggle into that because you really realistically you only block one, right?
Mhm.
So with this card, it allows you to punish that strategy because it minus 6,000 DP, which is a very high threshold. It hit the majority of level 4 in the game. So it does counter that strategy. So in context of that, it does make the deck better. It just doesn't make the deck good enough.
Okay,
So it's a
so
B. It's a B.
so two things is number one, this card enables Kaiser Nail Machinedramon, or you can Kaiser Nail out the Machinedramon, and then you can replay the on play effect. And two, I didn't realize, but it's taking us 40 minutes at this point to go over red, so we might need to speed this up a little bit. But Tesero, I think I heard you for a second.
I was agreeing with what Zero said.
Mm-hmm.
This card is pretty good for Machinedramon, even though it has a number of downsides, like the fact that using it like disables your Machinedramon protection. But there's a lot of things that are enabled by it, like Kaiser Nail plays, like the fact you can go into Omnimon from here. It's just that Machinedramon isn't like doing well enough in this meta to like put this at a higher tier.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So moving on, and we do have Gomamon. Gomamon is on play when played from Digivolution sources. Draw 2. Yeah, the saying it, Chief. In the context of its own color, how often are you gonna play this from its source? If Gomamon was just on play draw 2, like just flat, this card would be really great. But because it's so restricted, I think Gomamon is like high key, like a high D, maybe like a low C tier card. Honestly,
I would have liked this to be like on play, draw 2, discard 1 or something.
yeah, like I would have taken that. But the fact that it's so restrained in what it actually can accomplish, like for me, this is like a D tier card. Honestly.
Yeah. But I guess they just didn't want to power creep Gabumon, draw Gabumon.
Yeah. Okay, and then we do.
For
What's up?
Weymon.
Yeah, for Weymon, this card is fantastic, right? But not
Yeah.
every blue deck gets to be Weymon.
Yeah.
And we do have Strabimon. I mean, it's Flamemon,
Same
but
tier as Flamemon.
You just want to save time and put that in
man.
A tier.
yeah, like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
Everything we said about Flamemon applies to
yeah,
this card too.
basically.
Yeah.
More okay. Kumamon. Kumamon is the blue's new level 4 hybrid. You can digivolve over blue Tamer as if it's a level 3, and when digivolving, trash one of your opponent's sources from the bottom of their source.
I think
Solid
it's
card.
Yeah.
Kumamon
I-
is just the more annoying version of Lobomon.
I think
Yeah.
at minimum it's B tier because
Yeah.
I personally think it replaces
tier.
Lobomon.
I do too.
It does.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So the
it's just like
the DP isn't really relevant.
yeah, the card itself isn't always like that impactful. It's just like it helps support the game plan of the deck. It's another level 4 hybrid, and it does something as
Yeah.
opposed to the Lobomon who just does nothing.
Mm-hmm.
It's low impact, but it's super important for the deck it's in.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. And then we have KendoGarurumon. You may digivolve into this. It's Burning Greymon, so you can digivolve over a blue Tamer for 2. Oh. And then
Yeah.
when digivolving, if you have Hybrid or Koji, then its Digimon gets Jamming. Llama, I know.
This is,
Oh, go on.
you go ahead. You give, no, it's fine. Let Llama go.
Yeah, I was gonna say Llama spends a lot on this.
This card is alright. It has really good synergy with the Beowulf that we're going to see in a bit because it lets you get a safe swing in. The fact that it's one digivolving is a bit lame because like you can't like have a hybrid and raising go into Kendo and then promote and swing jamming, right? So it's kind of restricted in that use. And for the blue hybrid deck itself, the level 4 slot's already pretty restrictive. so it's kind of hard to find space to fit in when you have like other cards, as we're gonna see now, that have way more impact.
Yeah.
So like I follow in my Twitter feed, I see a lot of Japanese tier lists, Japanese decks that get like posted from winning. And during when blue hybrid was like at the top, I saw a lot of blue hybrid decks, right? But I rarely saw Garurumon. So it's for what it it has the same like strengths of like all other B spirits, but jamming it just isn't like the thing that you're looking to do in that deck right now.
Right.
Yeah, it's not the most impactful thing. Like you get an extra swing in, but like it's no booming Greymon.
So given that all this it's not being played, it's very low impact. I think Kendo is. Would it be a D or would it be a C because it's
I'd give
still
it
a
C
hybrid?
tier.
It's still,
you see it sometimes.
Yeah,
and it's
yeah,
still
yeah.
a hybrid.
It's still,
It's
yeah, I think
hybrid.
that's the biggest thing. Is that it is still a hybrid. I think that's the biggest.
Yeah, I
point.
don't think realistically you can call any hybrid
Yeah,
bad, right? Just be
Well.
we'll get there later.
There definitely is some bad hybrids.
but for what they provide just naturally by being able to evolve over Tamer, I think they are at least...
No, there's one in particular that definitely isn't.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll get there. But Kakuterimon, this card's
obnoxious.
bussin'.
Esther.
Yeah, it's an S tier card.
S tier.
Yeah.
This is one
Yeah.
of the 4 that was
Yeah.
like the automatic S tier.
Yeah, so it is a B spirit, so you can digivolve over level 3s. Tamer, it can digivolve over Tamers for 2. And if you digivolve and it has hybrid or Tommy and its source, one of your opponent's Digimon with no sources cannot attack or block until the end of their next turn.
Yeah, this card is just absolutely stupid.
Yeah, it's Howling Memory Boost on legs. So
Yeah, and one of the biggest things is that it can evolve over level 4s, including itself. So you can just like
keep recycling.
go for 2 over
Just do an
Tommy.
Ikaku lock.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
you just
Kakuterimon
spam
lock,
these.
bro.
Yeah, you ever wanna shut down a full board for like with 2 cards? This is your card.
Yeah, Kakuterimon is kind of.
It's absurd.
So you
This
may
is the crux of blue hybrid, honestly.
So you read this and you're like, oh, dude, but how am I gonna get them to like 0 sources? Haha, you read Tommy. Tommy says on play trash 3.
Wait, we have to get there.
Yeah, but they need the context. They need the context of it, dude. They need the context of why Korikaku's an S tier card.
Alright, yeah, let's move on.
Yeah, Korikaku's an S tier card. Daipinmon. Daipin
C tier.
doesn't.
C.
Okay, out of all the fusion spirits, Daipinmon doesn't reduce its play cost to 1. Unlike Aldamon and
that's a balancing reason. They probably just don't want blue to get 2 for no reason.
But like,
Fair.
yeah, like that's probably the reason.
Yeah,
But,
blue
like-
already get like I think blue has the most spirit of any color, and they don't want to give them 2/1 cost level 5 evolution.
Yeah, like,
I think that's very
but
fair.
like as a result, Daipinmon is like, it's a pretty mediocre C tier card.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
I was annoyed by it once. Locking down level 3s and being able to attack can like save you sometimes. It gets turned off the moment you kill it though.
yeah.
Yeah.
Can we appreciate the art though? It's some great art. Okay.
It's good design.
Beowulfmon. Beowulfmon is able to reduce its cost to 1 when you digivolve over a Digimon that has Tamer in its source. When attacking, you may return one of your Digimon cards with hybrid from the source to your hand to bounce one of their level 4s back. Llama, you want to take this one?
This card is really, really good. As we just mentioned, the Korikaku stacking up on itself to reuse it. This card literally lets you recycle them. Like if you put like 3 in a stack and the Beowulf keeps living, you just keep bouncing them to hand to reuse, which is really, really good. And like obviously just having the cost reduction by itself makes it an A tier card. But I think just the synergy it has with like the Korikaku and even the Kendo, like with the Kendo, as I mentioned, you can gain jamming, go into this, swing and get a safe swing. And you also you keep the body, you keep a level 5, and you get to bounce level 4. I think this card deserves to be S tier just because like not just because of itself, but because like the deck that surrounds it.
Interesting.
I don't disagree with that argument. This card is definitely better than Aldamon in my mind. The fact that it recycle your hybrid is absolutely insane. It's absurd.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Such good hand value for because evolving also gives you the draw.
Right. So since we're gonna revisit some of these cards and put them into S tier potentially, I think it goes up here with Aldamon, right? I think we can agree with that.
Yeah.
If it's A tier, it's the highest A tier.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's the best A tier card we've
It's
got.
like border tier. It's
Mhm.
borderline S.
yeah, for sure. And then Wargurumon's the same boat as MetalGreymon.
C tier, right?
Yeah, C tier.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
whatever.
Wargarurumon is if you don't have a tamer when you hard play it, play a blue tamer. If you have a tamer, gain 2 memory. ESS, when you unsuspend, gain 1 memory. It technically comes up more than MetalGreymon, but yeah, no.
Yeah, it's
I feel like
whatever.
it comes to people amount.
All right, Weymon.
Yeah.
On play, you may play 1 level 3 Digimon from this Digimon source, or from one of your Digimon sources. And if you do, you may place any blue Digimon from your hand to the bottom of that Digimon source. Weymon in the context of his own deck is, it's the bread and butter, it's the entire crux. Weymon in the context of blue, or Weymon when you're hard playing it outside of that. Why?
C tier.
Like, yeah, it's like
tier.
very mild card.
Funny memes you can make with this.
Yeah.
Because it sets up for some like crazy stacks.
Yeah,
with
with
specific
Black
combos.
or Greymon with a Pseudomon underneath it.
Yeah, the problem is that that's it's just not feasible.
Yeah.
You're just making jank decks at that point.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and then, of course, we have King Weymon. King Weymon is when attacking, you may play 1 level 3 Digimon card, or 1 Weymon from your source onto the board, and during your turn, when you play a Digimon from your source, bounce a level 4 back. I actually think King Weymon's a really good card. I've played a lot of Weymon, as you guys know, and even in instances where I didn't have Weymon and I had King Weymon did a lot of work because of the ability to bounce back level 4 or lower. For me, that was actually very significant. Being able to bounce back their hybrids and then they would lose the tamer, or being able to bounce back a Bokomon was really, really useful. So
yeah, it's Blue Lore Knight.
yeah, it is Blue Knight. So for me, I actually think King Weymon is like a B tier card because
I'm okay with it.
It's fine.
It does a lot
It's
even without Weymon. It's
bottom
it's
B
like a
tier.
bottom B, but I think it's still a B.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fine.
It's like high B, but it just hasn't performed well enough to justify that.
Honestly, it's better than Chaosdramon at the very least.
Yeah, it's missing cars to be better, but yeah, it's fine. It's a good card.
Right. And then MagnaGarurumon, when Digivolving and when attacking, once per turn, you may return 1 Digimon card with hybrid from the source back to your hand, and if you do, bounce one of their Digimon with the same level as that card. Once per turn, when an effect adds a card to your hand, untap one of your Digimon, so it does not have to be MagnaGarurumon, it could be any of your Digimon. This card didn't see a lot of play in JP because everyone ended up defaulting to Korikaku Tommy Rush.
During BT7, it saw a lot of play.
Did it really see a lot
It's
of
actually
play?
it's actually
okay.
like all around like late BT7 and then into BT8 that people like realized that dropping MagnaGaruru and focusing on Susano was the move. But I think that's like an issue with like MagnaGaruru as a card, but it's kind of like a space issue, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
it was like 50.
Susano would be your top end instead.
Right.
I think the first half of BT7 was almost 50-50 down the split on like playing MagnaGaruru or not.
So Llama, I know you've spent a lot of time with this card. I know you love this card actually. How do we feel about this?
Yeah, I do really like the card, and as like Tesero and Zero mentioned, early BT7 it was obviously more popular because like the card itself is good, right? It's good board clear, and relatively easy on suspend to get. But it was mentioned in front of like it was mentioned that Susano was just like better. Like Mega Digimon Fusion into Susano was a lot more popular because obviously 1 memory for 3 damage compared to like 4 memory for like 1 to 2, isn't like as impactful. But I think with the MDF ban, Susano specifically in blue hybrids is going to be a lot harder to pull off. So I think MagnaGaruru is going to come back as like the main top end, and I think it's a really good card. Probably same tier as definitely same tier as EmperorGreymon.
Yeah, I definitely think it's like an A tier card. I think
it's definitely above EmperorGreymon.
You think it's about the same as Emperor?
I said above.
Yeah,
definitely above EmperorGreymon.
I think it's
it's better. It's better than Emperor.
Myself is that because of the MDF ban, this is definitely going to go up in our meta.
Okay, so next is the Ancient Megatheriumon. So this is the Ancient Spirit for Ice. When Digivolving, for each card with hybrid in its source, trash one of your opponent's Digimon sources. Then for every Digimon they have without a source, draw 2. And on deletion, you play 1 blue level 4 or lower hybrid from your hand without paying cost.
C tier.
It's D tier.
I'd say D
This is a
tier.
D tier card, man.
You're
It
not
does a
paying
lot
5
of
for a mega
nothing.
just to draw a bunch of cards.
Yeah.
Especially not in this like meta right now, where you could be paying 4 for your mega to be bouncing their guys
Yeah.
and actually disrupting their board.
There's just no reason to actually play Megatheriumon. There's just nothing actually justifying it. Onto yellow, Harrismon. When this Digimon is trashed from the bottom because of Digiburst, bounces back to your hand.
Might as well be a vanilla.
Might as well be a vanilla.
I just put a D tier. It's every color has this now. Yellow finally got
Yeah.
their version of it.
Yeah.
It's just a staple card that they make for
It
every
came
deck.
a set too late. Because
Yeah.
like
Actually,
all
I
the,
play.
the era
uh,
of Digiburst cards is like over. Like no one really Digiburst anymore.
Yeah,
Could
Like
have a new era of Digiburst in the future.
True.
I
Yeah.
actually play a lot of yellow in BT7.
Same.
I can speed run down this list for you.
All right, go crazy. Go. You and Karan take
hey.
it away.
Yeah,
Alright.
post one, D tier.
No, I go C, dude. I love this card. If
It's
you
too
use
specific, man.
it's specific for the Lord Knight like Pulsemon deck, but like this card does so much work in it, and gaining 2 memory is like it's pretty fire. I would never put above C though, like just because of how restrictive it is. But it's really easy to pull off, and it just the amount of value you get from it is just you can't pass that up.
So just so everyone watching knows, it is ESS when attacking once per turn. If you have 3 security, so exactly 3, gain 2 memory. I actually do agree with Karan. I think given the context of its color, it's not too hard to actually hit the exactly 3 threshold, right? Would you guys agree, disagree with that?
Sometimes against fast stack, you just get run down and it just become a vanilla. So it's whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if it's in C, but I just don't think it's what is. Yeah.
No, I don't think it goes above C. I think it's like
Yeah.
pretty
Oh, of course.
pretty,
Yeah, no.
pretty. It's like a pretty low C tier card.
Yeah.
Of course.
Bookmon's D tier. Giving blocker at exactly 3 security is.
Oh no, I
No,
agree
it's 3
with
or more.
that. Yeah.
It's 3 or more. It's 3 or more. Hold up.
It's 3 or more, but still
Right.
you're not gonna need this card
All right, so Bulkmon.
because the card that has is
Yeah,
gonna
so
be
Bulkmon
You
is-
play this card so you can block EmperorGreymon and lose the game.
So Bulkmon is during your opponent's turn while you have 3 or more security, this Digimon gains blocker. So the entire gimmick of the Kazuchimon line is they all have ESSs based around the 3 security threshold. Bulkmon does give you blocker, but as we pointed out, blocker isn't exactly super relevant in this meta.
Yeah.
So where are we slapping this? My 2 yellow experts.
D tier.
D.
D.
Blocker's not relevant, but I think it's just level 4 blockers aren't relevant.
Let's talk about the next one too. The next one is also D. Philmon.
What even is this, bro?
Dude, we don't talk about this card, dude.
It's like we don't talk about Bruno, bro. We don't talk about Philmon.
Dude, read
This entire line.
The
Is
entire
just disappointing.
Harrismon line was just so bad.
Yeah, it got done dirty.
So for those that don't know what it does, Digiburst 2, choose a Digimon Mind Security Tech 2.
Yeah.
do we have an F tier? Because this is like an F tier.
This is honest F for Philmon, yeah.
Oh god.
More like
Kazemon.
Fillermon.
Kazemon
Fillermon.
BT minimum. B
Uh,
tier minimum.
Yeah.
Kazimon C tier.
What?
Really? I think B just because yellow has like some of the best.
Wait, yeah, what? It's still a hybrid.
It's still a
Yeah,
hybrid.
no, I mean it's like high C. It's like generic. I don't think it's high.
I think it's B just because in yellow the amount of good tamers there are, and the very little amount of hybrids that this card is just such a necessity, as well as still does the work of what it needs to do really well.
No, yeah, I agree with Karan. I think there's so many.
That's fair. I think in context of how good hybrid yellow is, yeah, it's B.
Well, not even hybrid yellow. Just in general, the quality of yellow tamers, especially, is just super good. So
Not to mention this is searchable from security by 2 tamers now.
yeah.
Okay. All right.
If yellow
Alright.
had more yellow hybrids to actually play with, then this would probably go down.
Yeah,
but
then they
yeah.
would go down. But
I think that one of the two, and this deck being like as good as it is, it should be at least B tier.
yeah. I
Okay.
agree.
Fair enough.
All right, Zephyrmon. It's a B
B
spirit,
tier.
so you can digivolve for 2 over level over Tamer. When digivolving, if you have hybrid or Zoe in its source, all of your security gets plus 3,000. We don't care about the actual effect. We care about the fact that it's a hybrid.
Okay,
That's all.
Oh, it
I've
comes out-
had
neat.
such moments where the effect comes up, especially because of the fact that it's until end of turn. So even if it's gone, the effect is still in play.
Okay.
Yeah, it's an aura. It
Only-
actually come up.
Only way I would say this you would bump it up to A is if like you actually want to acknowledge it's that one interaction I mentioned earlier with the Rise Greymon,
Right.
where if you evolve this on top of the Kazumon, then you get the double Tamers. So
Mhm.
it's like if you want to acknowledge that, I'd say A tier. Otherwise, like it's a solid B tier
It's a
card.
B. It's a
Card's
B.
just great.
Okay,
Yeah, it's a B.
I've
Baltmon.
had funny moments where I've like stacked Zephyrmon on
Uh,
Zephyrmon, gotten plus 6k
it's-
DP, and had like big ass megas with huge DP still die to my security.
What the heck?
as for Boutmon, well, it's like C tier at highest, but I gotta give it D tier. It's such a good effect, but like there's no reason to restand really unless like you're trying to protect like your Digimon. But with the cards that's like it's designed for, that thing already has a big stat as it is.
James, how do you?
Yeah, it looks.
Oh, yeah. Llama go?
I don't have a strong feeling about that one way or
Yeah.
another.
So
Llama?
let's just go D tier with it.
Yeah, no, it's just like exclusively support for that line. Like it can,
Yeah.
if you have the correct line, it can turn into like a mini Mechanori, but like aside
Alright,
from that, it doesn't do that much.
Moving on, my
Oh,
next
wait, yeah.
S tier.
Really quickly, why we're saying this? Because it reads well, when attack restand, right? It's when your opponent attacks on their turn. So it's supposed to work with your blocker.
And they have to attack the player, so
Yeah,
the opponent
it's,
can easily play around this.
Yeah, it's not
The
good.
BT1 Rosemon
Yeah,
issue.
it's the BT1 Rosemon conundrum. Okay,
Yeah.
Jesmon, the other S tier card. It's
S
Yeah,
tier.
S tier,
Yeah.
easily S tier.
it's
The best card in the,
it
in
is
the
the best
set,
card in the set.
possibly.
It is I think it's the best card in the set.
Yeah, it
I
is.
agree.
This card is absurd. I don't understand why they thought heal 1, non-conditional heal 1 for 1 is okay.
This is why the other yellow cards are ass, dude. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
They certainly learned from
Is this literally
mistake.
like one? I think this is literally one of like 3 good yellow cards in this set.
Pretty much.
Yeah, Jet Silphymon, it's when digivolving, if you have Hybrid Source, just heal 1. No, that's it.
Yeah. Like actually, if you look at all the yellow support this set, they're all terrible. But just Sylphie is so bursted that yellow is a tier 1 deck.
Alright, now we do have Steffelmon. When digivolving... Bro, this card is so bad that Orange didn't even update the image. It's just
No one cares.
a magazine skin.
Yeah.
Nobody cares.
Why do you play this?
If
Because
this
the-
Digimon has
There's
only...
reason to play this. It's
It's
just,
just bad
I mean,
reasons.
security attack plus 1 is nice, I guess.
It's definitely better than the other like Digiburst cards. I'll give it that. For its playstyle, I wouldn't give it C tier because like security attack plus 1 is pretty nice with the playstyle that this deck's going for. But
that requires Rosinmon to be good.
yeah.
Yeah,
The-
big problem.
It only
That's the biggest issue.
supports Rosinmon, and Rosinmon's not good. So like this is
Razon's
Yeah.
mid.
so it's when
Yeah,
digivolving. If you have only one source, so it's already super specific. You can place up to 2 yellow level 4 or lower from your hand to the bottom of this, and if you do, draw 1 for each. If it's digibursted, you gain +1 security attack. It's just too.
It's
Why? Why?
It's basically trying to say, oh, when you involve on top of Philmon after using Philmon's ability,
Yeah.
then do this. It's like, dude, come on, are you serious?
Yeah.
It's so frustrating, dude.
It's so.
Oh, okay,
it's so
even
bad.
even when you get the entire lineup, right? Like you get the egg, right?
Yeah.
All right. I burst the egg, and then I burst Harrismon to get a card back to my hand, -1 DP, one my opponent Digimon,
Ooh.
and then like, why does Philmon not have synergy with his own egg? why isn't it -DP?
Honestly, the baby should have been like gain a memory or draw a card or something.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
when does what -1 DP by itself comes up?
Okay.
Like the cards themselves don't have synergy. Like they don't have good synergy with their own like evolution line.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense. It just does not coherently make sense. We do have Rosinmon. When digivolving into this card from your hand, the memory cost of this card is equal to your security. If you have 0 security, this cost is 1. Once per turn, Digiburst up to 4. A minus 3,000 from one of your opponent's Digimon for each instance. I mean,
Right.
So the
So you guys notice how this card has anti synergy with the rest of the stack?
it wants you to Digiburst. It wants to Digiburst the stack that already got Digibursted.
Yeah. Like for you to play the rest of the line, Philmon has to Digiburst for Stuffymon to not be a vanilla. But then when you go into this card's actually hurt by you Digibursting too earlier. It's like what were they thinking when they designed this line?
Well, obviously because
No, it's still fuzzy backups.
Yeah,
You still do up to verse 4.
Steffel puts back 2 sources actually. 0.
So, how I see this card is like, the issue is that in the next set 8, they made a card for this deck, which is like, it makes it so super playable.
Sylphie?
But for now, the ruin mode or whatever, like the
Oh yeah,
darkness
Rosin
form.
Fury
Ruin.
mode.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like
Fury
until
mode, yeah.
then, like this deck is not really a deck if you ask me. And the thing is too, I hate its first ability for the memory cost.
Yeah, why could it be a
because,
flat? What?
Yeah, exactly. Like why couldn't it just be a flat like if like let's say you're at 6 or more somehow, like because you're playing yellow, then that's gonna cost 6 to evolve? Hell no, dude, that's horrible. And then when you go down to 0, it should still cost 0 at that point, if you ask me. Because then like it's a better late game card, but then you're like, no, we still got to give it a cost. I'm like, I don't know how I feel about this card.
The art
Its
is
stats
cool.
are really
The
low
art is
too.
super cool, yeah. But like,
Oh, the art's amazing.
honestly,
but
bro,
we're not grading by
this
art.
is like a D for me right now in BT7.
I want to say the lowest of C just because of its future support it's getting.
But like we're looking in the context of set 7.
But yeah, with the context of set 7, it's a D.
It's a
so
D.
unfortunate.
Yeah, like it's just.
I kind of get what they were going for with the design, right?
Yeah, I get the
'Cause
idea.
They don't want it. They don't want it to be like cheap to evolve into in the early game, where you can like, use its effect to snowball. They don't want like a War Growl slash to happen again.
Issue with this
Honestly,
card though,
this
gets
entire
countered.
set. This entire set is just yellow paying for BT05 mistakes.
It's
Just
also
building a full stack isn't that great.
And yet
in
they
this
still
game
got
anymore.
Jet Sophie.
If you're not playing, if what you're getting isn't like Jesmon tier.
Yeah, it's just Rosinmon's not it. But we do have
Yeah.
Kazuchimon, the
I
actual
love this
good
card.
yellow SR.
Yeah,
Like,
dude.
All right.
I actually think this card is C tier.
All right, hold up. When digivolving, if you have 3 or more security cards, gain 2 memory because it does cost 5 to digivolve into. If you have 2 or fewer security cards, you may heal until you have 3 security. While you have 3 or more security, this Digimon gets +1 security attack. Why do you think it's a C tier card?
In general, it's too expensive. At 5, because honestly, what you use this card for most of the time is just to heal yourself back out of lethal range. The extra security attack is nice, but you really don't want to evolve this card for like 3 and swing for extra security over a lot of the other cards. Mostly this card exists just so you can heal yourself back to 3 and put yourself out of lethal range in a lot of decks. So I mean, it's neat for that reason. It's just the scope of how you can use it in the meta is just very limited, but it's still like a really cool tool to have. Just being able to just randomly heal for 3.
No,
Because you can.
Oh,
yeah.
Go on. I'm sorry.
Because of the nature of how Blinding Ray work, you can just multiple Blinding Ray if you're on low security, get a bunch of memory, evolve this, heal back to 3, and then have a swing, and then maybe even go into a level 7.
Maybe Blinding Ray is the reason why this card is the way it is.
Yeah.
5 cost and everything. I mean, on paper, this card is fantastic. If you're at 0 security, it's you heal 3. That's actually like probably one of the most efficient heals in this whole game. It's just that the scope of what you can do, or what you need this card for, is just kind of too small for the current meta. It's like what Zero said.
All right.
Maybe with the new Batmon it might be playable, but
doubt. But no, Karan though. Karan, I know you really like this card. So what do you think about this?
All right, so I still think it should be B tier at minimum. Like obviously not higher because like there's no way it should be. It's a cool card. As Tesero said too, the efficiency of its recovery is that's just amazing. For 5 costs, you can recover up to 3. That's really hot. I don't think though this is like a main boss monster per se, like where like I'm gonna focus my deck around Kazuchimon because his effect is more of a late game kind of like a comeback card per se. He's like I would play him at most like 2 of, not you would never play 4 of this card. Another thing too is like as mentioned before, like because with Blinding Ray, you can, if you really just wanted to, like because let's say you're at 1 security, you can Blinding Ray, gain 2 memory, play this, go back to 3. Basically, like you're getting your money's worth with Blinding Ray as well, because you're getting all that like cards back to your stack. The security tech +1 is just a nice little bonus. It synergizes really well with the with an option that we'll see later on. But by itself, I could see why people would say it's C. But with the support around it, as well as the support from the past, I'd say B, just because it's a good backup card.
Yeah.
security tech +1 could be more relevant in the future. With the current support they just got, I can see them like potentially building this into like Yellow's OTK engine or enabler.
So I I agree with Karan in the sense that like you don't look at this as a main boss, but rather you look at it as a side boss currently in the BT7 format. If you look at it as a secondary boss instead, I think it's a B tier card. Not a high B tier card for sure. Maybe like mid low B. I feel like
I just
Yeah,
don't
I
think
agree with that.
I just don't think I'll see a ton of play in this meta. I'll see play at like a one of
yeah.
randomly.
I think it'll be like a very niche tech.
If it's played, it's going to be because it's going to be played with like a Lord Knight engine or something.
Yeah.
Where,
Yeah.
because another thing about this card is like, oh, you can get rid of like the Pulsemon that we mentioned before, where it gets gain 2 memory. This thing will go back and enable it again, and gain that 2 memory again, which is like really hot.
All right. So we do
That's
have
probably the best part of
Ancient Kazemon now. This is what, a D tier card.
Yeah, we don't talk about it.
another E or F tier card.
Opponent's turn, while the card with hybrid in its form. Wait. Well, like card with hybrid. Oh yeah. When you have hybrid in the source, all of your security Digimon get plus 4,000. On deletion, you play one yellow level 4 hybrid.
Is
So sad
is
it
this
has
the
no
worst?
effect. They got stripped.
Is this the worst ancient?
Yes.
I agree. It's totally
I think
the
it is
worst.
by far the worst ancient.
They're all so bad it's so hard to pick a worst, honestly. They're all like really bad in their own way. Especially the ones that just don't impact board, like Kaze.
Yeah.
Alright, we do have.
Think-
Oh, you're
yeah.
gone? Okay, so going into green though, we have Gatsumon. On play, check. You may reveal one green Digimon from your hand. If you do, place it on top of your deck. Okay, so how this
Well-
how this works is, so it sounds like, oh, I get a free Digivolution. No, you just paid 3. You literally just paid 3. Argomon's at 1. If you Argo this out, then like it's a different story. But you're not Argoing this out like 90% of the time.
Yeah.
So it's worse than it reads, if that makes sense.
We're just going back to the gacha conversation we had with Korum. This is a gacha enabler.
Yeah.
Gacha is like
Yeah.
not.
Well,
very
why don't
represented.
you just evolve there?
Yeah, like why don't you just evolve instead of paying 3 to heart? Like what?
Well, that's because a lot of green megas cost more than 3.
It's just that there's also better gotcha enablers than this
There
card.
is a lot. It's literally Tortomon. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the
Like, that's
issue is
card. You want to play more than one card that enables.
Yeah, you got Koromon.
You also have the Tamer from I think it's set 4.
Izumimi,
Izumimi.
I think that's at 5.
Oh, it's set 5. But yeah, you know which one I'm talking about now.
Yeah,
Like you have multiple enablers.
you do. Okay.
all right.
Betamon. First of all, the art, Koki art. I love Koki art. But on play, real top 3 cards of your deck. Add 1 green level 4 or 1 green Tamer to your hand. Bot the rest. It
B tier for Betamon.
it reads what it does.
Yeah.
On paper, it's pretty. I think it tries to be like what Strabian.
Yeah, it tries to be a Strabian Flame, but it isn't.
It's
Strabian
not
Flame.
quite there. It doesn't search Susanoo. It doesn't go top 4.
It doesn't have an ESS.
It's a bit more generic. so
It's basically
top 4.
it's basically the old Strabian Flamon.
But old Strabian Flame grabbed both Tamer and Hybrid.
both,
This only
yeah.
grabs one.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
I
have
know,
more
I know.
targets.
Yeah.
It's an alright card.
It is.
It's
It's,
a hard
it's
card,
like
yeah.
it's like a low B for me.
Green has
Yeah.
so low representation. It's just so hard to judge cards like Betamon that are just like generically good,
Yeah.
almost like too
Okay.
generically
So now
good.
the big question is, so I should buy the alt art because max rarity, but I like the
Yes.
base art so much more.
Buy the altar because it's a reference to the original VPET.
Darn it. Okay. Tortomon. ESS. When attacking, you may reveal 1 green Digimon from your hand, place it on top of your deck, give this Digimon plus 3,000 DP for the turn. I mean, this is the best. This is the best Gotcha
yeah.
Green card.
This is the card
This
that
is
made
the
Gotcha Green
enabler.
playable.
Like yeah, like this is what makes Gotcha Green playable. Without this, you're playing some hodgepodge, you know.
Yeah.
I remember
B
back.
That
tier
alone-
card, I think.
I feel like you have to make this thing like B tier at least.
Yeah, it is a B tier card. Back in I think it was like 1.0. There was a player, and he was playing Gotcha Green. Mind you, there's only one Gotcha Green card at this time, Jagamon, and he played like 17 level 6s to enable it. He was like, yeah, I have like a 90% success rate on hitting level 6, and I was like, what? What?
You gotta do what you gotta do.
You do what you gotta do.
There is like one thing you should probably mention about Dorumon is like the cost is probably steeper than you think. Green is like the color that has like the least draw.
Oh
in the
yeah,
whole
yeah.
deck,
It
you know,
is.
so actually losing a card from your hand
Mhm.
kind of like really kind of bad.
It is a really awkward neg 1. Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree.
Probably like this deck would probably work a lot better if green did have
So-
that card to draw power, because then you'd
So
find
how-
that Dorumons are
Imagine
often as
Toromon
well.
was when attacking, draw 1, then stack 1.
So how I see this card is that you don't want to use it every time you want to do gotcha. You do it only when you want to use a mega from hand for gotcha. If you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's the.
Because
I think
that's
that's the intended purpose. Yeah, like the force.
But
the
no,
stack.
that's of course that's the intended purpose. But that's the thing. It's like you're obviously paying us a little steeper of a cost, but you're doing it to guarantee it for a cheaper.
Yeah, but like
you know,
as the game progresses, the state of the game goes longer and longer. It just gets worse and worse. Like you're just losing value at some point, right? Like it's really great early when hand size is like relatively small on both ends, but like at some point your opponent just like out tempos you because you decided to yeet away 3 cards from your hand, right?
At the same time, like this card can get better. Like if we get like a future egg that like says, oh, if you discard a card, like whatever.
Yeah, but we're not looking at future support
Yeah.
right now. We're looking.
No, of course,
we're
for right
looking
now,
in
yeah.
context of 7.
It's essentially like a backup plan card. Is how I
Yeah.
see it. But at the same time, it guarantees the plan.
Okay. So Beetlemon. Beetlemon is a hybrid, so you digivolve over Tamer. When digivolving, check top 5 cards of your deck, add 1 hybrid and 1 JP. So this is actually BT.
It's actually fantastic.
This is actually
It's
Flamemon and
one of the best.
Strabimon. This is the old one. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of the best hybrids.
Yeah,
Like
this is a
great for our level 4 hybrids.
I think this is like an A tier card, honestly.
I hard agree. Yeah.
Like if Strabi and Flame are A tier, definitely Beetlemon's an A tier card. It's a hybrid. It's really good searcher. It hits a lot of your targets. It finds any hybrid, by the way. So that's really nice. It just like HerculesKabuterimon is not Flamemon and Strabimon. Ended up being a blocker. But yeah, I think Beetlemon is a really good card. MetalGreymon or Bolgmon. If we ever
This card's fantastic.
if we ever get a card that specify Kabuterimon, this won't count. We'd end up getting an errata.
That's probably why we get like it specifying insectoid instead.
Yeah, I'd imagine.
Though that also means that's probably also doing that because then
Quagga.
you also get to cover Quagga and a bunch of
Yeah.
other stuff too.
Okay, but yeah, so this is a Beast Spirit, so it digivolves over Tamer for 2. When digivolving, if you have Hybrid or JP, you suspend one of your opponent's Digimon with 6,000 DP or less. This is a really good card.
6,000 DP is a really,
That's
really
that's-
overcosted like threshold for
Mhm.
this kind of effect for this
It's
cost.
really high for 2
Yeah.
cost.
Yeah.
I used to like pre like BT7's release, all around their BT7's release in Japan. I was testing with these Tessie a lot, and this card just gives me so many headaches. Oh, it's so frustrating to play again.
Bro, is that Bokomon? Say goodbye.
She keeps killing all my Eismons after I spawn them. It's like how am I they're like not even value anymore.
Yeah, definitely MetalGreymon is one of the better Beast hybrids. Very good card.
And sets it for
Monochromon.
the,
There you go.
for your like your win condition
S tier Monochromon.
in the deck. Go into Rhino, go into Ancient.
Right. Okay, and the Mame Tyrannomon. When attacking, it's Jagamon. Guys, it's Jagamon.
It's literally copy paste. I'm surprised they actually made a card with the same effect in the same color.
Well, bro, he costs less.
Consistency.
Dude, that's insane to me too. Like he actually costs less.
Yeah, for 5,000 DP. So if you whiff, he's gonna eat like the wall.
Is this like the lowest
you're-
DP level 5 in the
I
game?
think it is.
So you're gonna be playing. You're playing Gotcha Green at this point if you're playing this card. Like
Yeah, it's gotcha green.
So-
this is like a C tier card for me, honestly.
yeah, I'll put C with that as well. I agree.
It
It's
just
fair.
it's gotcha. Oh,
Another vanilla.
Triceramon, another vanilla.
S tier. He's
Okay,
eating apples.
RhinoKabuterimon. So you can reduce the cost by 2 if you digivolve over Digimon with Tamer. So because it's a fusion spirit. When attacking, if you have hybrid or insectoid, notice it says insectoid. You can digivolve when attacking. Digivolve into an insectoid or 10 warrior from your hand for 3. This is a really good card.
Yeah,
Definitely A tier.
This is an A
at
tier
least
card.
A tier.
Yeah, for
At least
sure.
A tier.
I think this is the only hybrid that also just plays with the 10 warriors as well from the set.
Did
Yeah.
they not all?
No, like I mean play with as in like they synergize with it really well.
Oh, yeah.
Specifically,
Yeah.
The fact that it's insectoid though in green
Yeah,
means
oh
that
my God, it's so
it's so big because you can play this into so many future support.
Yeah, you know how like,
Yep.
you were like, synergistic? Like, how does it work with the color? Yeah, this card works really well with the color.
Yeah,
Like, outside
Like-
of hybrid, it works really well.
Kabuterimon gets support.
Quagga.
Kuwagamon gets support.
Shivamon set 8.
Yeah, it just works.
Yeah, this card does a lot.
I'm generally using this with the ancients because it's the biggest payoff for the cost reduction.
Yeah, Ancient Beetle and Ancient Shoya for 3 is huge.
Horse gaming.
Horse Gaming! You heard it
Horse
here,
Gaming.
folks. Alright, Saber Leomon. When
B
Digivolving...
tier.
This is a D tier card. It gets plus 5,000 DP when it digivolves on deletion, gain 2 memory. So it's Leomon, so of course it has an on deletion effect. Yeah, it's like
This
like,
card's amazing.
That card
tier.
just screams it was made for set 1, but they forgot to print it.
yeah. Dino Rexmon. When digivolving, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. That Digimon does not unsuspend. And it gets plus 1,000 for each of your opponent's suspended Digimon. This is supposed to be going with Gacha Green. It's intended
It's
for
supposed
Gacha
to.
Green.
It's
Yeah,
supposed
it's
to be like
Mama
a-
Tyra's.
a
Antibody as
parallel of
well.
like Mega Gargo.
Yeah, it's
'cause
Mega Gargo with DP boost.
was like the old Gacha Green typical payoff,
Right.
but it's not Mega Gargo. Plus DP is not what you're looking for. The
No.
security attack plus one is just way more valuable.
Yeah, it's like a D tier card. The payoff it's for gachaing into this is like so minimal.
Mhm.
All right, Ancient Beetlemon. During your turn, once per turn, when one of your Digimon with 10 warriors or hybrid deletes an opponent's Digimon by battle, trash the top card of your opponent's security. On deletion, play a green hybrid or a level 4 green hybrid. I mean, yeah,
I'd give it B tier.
it's like a low B for me, honestly.
Yeah, because of Rhino.
Yeah, it's
Works well
because
with
of Rhino. It is because of Rhino.
Yeah.
Rhino's the enabler.
Rhino,
When you use it with Rhino
carries
and
it.
Metal Kabu, it's fantastic. You know, Metal
Yeah.
Kabu rest, then you go into Rhino, you swing into it, and you get like both piercing and the trash, the
Yeah.
Yep.
security. I'd like how rate Hyder, but I have the perspective of getting like constantly beat over with it by Desi.
Okay, Eben Wumon. So this is one of the 4 sovereigns. 5 cost. When digivolving, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon, then gain 1 for each of their Digimon that's suspended. During your opponent's turn, all their Digimon gain. You must trash 1 to unsuspend the Digimon.
Can we give this card a special tier?
Copium. This is actually
This card
Copium
is-
tier, please.
This
This
As
is
a,
on
bad.
the paper, it
awful.
looks really, really fantastic,
This-
but like this card just did nothing.
Yeah.
No
Yeah,
one
this-
played this over Ancients or over Nidhogg even.
It doesn't fix any of Green's issues of not being proactive enough. It is literally the opposite of being proactive. Like, God, I hate this card.
Yeah, it's bad. It's really bad.
I think
Doesn't
this
help that
card.
That
Yeah,
the meta is hybrids, and so it's like, oh, what am I unsuspended? It's a bunch of tamers, dude.
Yeah.
This card get the rank of Green SR, which are 50-50, whether or not they're
I should
terrible.
probably also lose points for giving the judges so many headaches.
Yeah.
This is the ruling's nightmare of the community as well.
Wait, why?
Oh, because of the unsuspend phase and how that works with or his opponent's turn effect is when your opponent unsuspends, right? Or rather, it grants the effect to them. And it's just the way this actually works in terms of timing, in terms of like really specifics, when you try to like get down to it in the comprehensive rule set level, is something that the rulings community has been trying to like figure out by sending emails, and they've just been going in like a back and forth with the support emails like for so long over this card, and I think they still don't like. I mean, I haven't checked in a while. They might still not even have like a full grasp.
So Eben Wumon, Ruiner of Dreams. Okay. Dorumon, we're finally on to black. On play, reveal 3 cards from the top of your deck. Add 1 Digimon with X antibody and 1 Kota to your hand. ESS, when you... Is that Chikurimon? Is that it? Orange?
They haven't updated it, yeah.
What's your
I think that's like a placeholder they forgot
When you place a card under this Digimon source, gain a memory. This is a really good card. It's a really.
It's
I think
fantastic.
it's
a
I
really.
think it's A tier personally.
Yeah,
A tier.
it's definitely A tier.
It's A tier.
Yeah, for
A tier.
sure, 100%. I agree on that.
This card is a really good searcher.
Yeah, it searches your any X antibody, your Kota, and it gains memory. Like it, fantastic card. Honestly, I like at some point it almost makes me want to like throw it up in like S tier.
It's also like a hammer spark for the archetype because of thanks to a rulings update after the rulings team.
Well,
Like,
the
like
amazing.
if you put
Yeah.
Doru underneath, it'll count itself.
Yeah, that's the
That's
amazing
awesome.
thing about this card. That if you put it underneath, it will count its own effect. It's
Yeah.
absolutely insane.
Like I actually want to make an argument. Doru is an S tier card.
I
No.
Well,
No,
I think in the
no.
context
Okay,
of set
okay.
in the context of set 7, it's not S
That's
tier.
fair. That's fair. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, especially in the context of set 7. It's
Okay,
not
that's
S
fair.
tier.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair. Okay. Monidamon. On play, reveal top 3 cards of your deck. Add 1 Knight or Deadly Axe to your hand. So, if you guys remember, Monidamon previously, the previous iteration, was like check top card of your deck, put it on top or bottom, and then when this card is deleted, play a Monidamon from somewhere. I forget.
Top 3, I think.
Top 3. Yeah,
Top three
I think it's top 3. This is supposed to synergize with Knightmon and Deadly Axemon and DarkKnightmon, but
It's a searcher for an archetype that just didn't see enough play.
yeah. So like this is
Yeah.
I mean, like, given the context of, I don't even know. Is this like a D tier?
I'd say C tier
C,
just
D.
because it's a
Searchers
just
are
'cause it's a
nice in
searcher.
general.
Yeah,
They
searchers
just,
are nice.
yeah.
Searchers are nice.
You can't make fun of searchers.
Yeah,
They're just
yeah,
value.
Yeah, I agree. Okay. And it's Gold Knightmon. When attacking, you may trash all of the Digivolution sources underneath your Deadly Axemon and place that Deadly Axemon on the bottom of this card. Digivolve into Dark Knightmon. ESS, while Digimon has Knight or Bagra, haha, future support, gain +1 security attack.
I think this card. I know the Nightmon deck didn't see a lot of play, but this is like the best card in the Nightmon deck.
Yeah, for sure. It's
This
it's
card,
the
looking
enabler
at
right
it, you
there.
think that this archetype actually has potential because this card is actually really stacked.
Mhm.
They really tried to push this. It just is too bad it didn't work out as greatly as you did anticipate.
Right. Yeah, I definitely agree
Yeah.
that on paper it reads a lot better than the deck actually functions. But Skull Knightmon
Yeah,
does his best. Skull Knightmon does his best.
The entire line is like C tier in BTO7, but
I think Skull
Baggermon,
Knightmon himself is a B tier card.
yeah, but Baggermon soon TM.
Yeah, right. Is that done? Deadly Axemon. On play, check top 5 cards of your deck. Add up to 2 Digimon with Knightmon in their name to your hand. ESS, while Digimon has Knight or Bagra in the same, plus 2,000 DP. I mean, it's a searcher.
Yeah.
It can find Lord
blockbuster.
Knightmon.
Yeah.
That it can. I mean, so can the Monita, I guess, technically.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
because it's a searcher,
You should stick it with Monita.
I
Yeah.
wanna say this line baited the community to think that Baggermon was either gonna be in this set or BTO8.
Yeah, we got baited.
That's crazy that this is they named Bagramon and like for 3 sets he hasn't showed up yet.
Yeah, that's actually insane. Okay, Grumblemon. It's a regular generic hybrid, but because it's a regular generic hybrid, boop.
In a color that has none.
Yeah, and
So
he's
seems
the
not a play.
only one. Okay, Gigasmon.
Oh god.
This is the one hybrid that actually doesn't deserve B because he doesn't cost 2 over Tamer.
Right. Yeah, they used the
Blocker as
The B-
justification.
no, it is the BT4 Burning Gray Kendo Guru model for this one.
But why does Zephyrmon and MetalGreymon and Korikaku cost 2?
Why
Because
does
they're heroes, yes.
why does Black always get the worst part of the
Okay,
mechanics?
so he's still a
Oh, wait,
hybrid.
it's because they don't have a black tamer to go on. Those other beast tamers like name a specific name.
Yeah,
You don't. This one doesn't have a name, so it has to be generic.
Okay, so Gigasmon, it's still a hybrid, but it's a really terrible one. Honestly,
So C tier.
honestly, dude, I kind of want to put it in D. It's so bad.
It loses
Yeah.
points for having the blocker keyword on a level 4.
Yeah, actually though,
Level
Yeah.
4 blockers are just so. I
Like,
mean, at
It's
least it
also
doesn't
sick.
lose memory on attacking, which is what I think might be one of the reasons blockers just aren't being played.
It's also 6 cost for
okay,
6k
cost,
DP. It just does not seem value
the
for
art is so good,
any of
but
its
why is it
stats.
so bad?
Yeah, no, it's
It's literally power creep by like just Unimon from starter deck format.
Yeah. Seals Dramon. Okay,
Exactly.
Dorumon.
like Dorugora.
So this is a level 4 blocker, unironically. But in all
Can you show
ESS, all players' turns, if you have X antibody and straight, gain plus 1,000 DP.
That's actually insane.
This is
Yeah,
actually.
I mean, it's pretty good. It's arguably probably the worst level for X antibody when we get the full lineup.
Yeah.
But it's still an X antibody, so you're likely still to run it. And the 1,000 DP all turns is really nice, and it comes up a lot.
Yeah,
That's how a lot of
I think
moments where
at the bare minimum, it's like a B tier card.
Yeah.
I run my face into things that are bigger than I counted for because I forgot to
Yeah.
count for Doragora.
All right, Dark Knightmon. On play, you may play 1 Skull Knight and 1 Deadly Axe from the bottom of from your hand or trash. Put it on the bottom of this card. When this Digimon is deleted, you can play both of them for free.
Does it still say is deleted? It should be would be deleted.
It says is deleted.
Uh,
It's supposed to be
uh,
would.
it should be would be.
Oh, would be.
I think it says so in the text below.
Yeah.
Update the
Oh
proxy.
yeah. Wait.
Yeah.
So what does the difference imply for everyone watching at home? What does that mean?
Would be is an interruptive effect, so it's technically would activate this effect before it's actually is deleted.
Mm-hmm.
And that's important because that means like the sources are still inside of him at that point. It makes it feel like some really interesting potential future applications. Wait, does it work that way? It might not actually work that way. Now I think about it. I was thinking that if maybe one of them had decoy, it can actually save it. But I think it would miss timing.
Because the effect's already casted, like from the initial pop or whatever, what would be popping him.
Right, because the win would be deleted as already been triggered.
Yeah. So Darkknightmon is kind of a.
It almost is.
It's like
Um,
I think right. I think
because of like it's planning from sources that kind of has to be would be deleted.
Yeah, I think as of BT7, I think it's like a CC.
Because otherwise, it'd be playing from trash. It
Yeah.
doesn't technically count as playing from trash because they're playing from sources while it's still up on the board.
Yeah.
That the alternate art is insane though.
Yeah, the altar's great. Okay.
Pick it
Oh
up.
wait, now I know what the application is. If you have Macmon on the board and the decoy Digimon, you can technically trigger his when would be deleted effect and still save the Darkknightmon using decoy.
Yes. Machmon. Of
Oh,
course.
interesting. That's very cool.
The horse for Darkknightmon, yes. Okay.
But like, no, that's not enough to make it relevant.
No. Okay, DoruGreymon.
Hey, pick up your art Dark Knight now when they're cheap.
When Bagramon comes out.
Yeah, before Battlemon comes out.
Alright.
Or Darkknightmon neck.
Alright, so DoruGreymon, when digivolving, you may put one black card with X antibody from your hand to the bottom of this Digimon's sources. If you do, this Digimon cannot be deleted by effect, and its DP cannot be reduced. ESS, if you have X antibody, gain security attack. This card's fantastic. This card is great.
This card is so good. This is arguably like best X antibody tied with Dorumon.
Yeah.
Is
you can argue this is S tier
yeah, I was
because
gonna say I think this is an S tier card.
Yeah, this is the reason. This is the
not during BT7. It isn't.
Yeah, not because of BT7.
Right, but the argument is this. This card is the reason that this deck is even playable, because it dodges so much removal.
Yeah, I mean, it's good. It works into everything. It literally dodges everything except for like bounce and bot deck. You know.
Yeah.
I think this card is just like really the blanket protection is just fantastic. You play against yellow hybrids, bro. They can't shine Greymon on you. You're immune. And it works until the end of opponent's turn. So even if you digivolve over it, you still have the immunity.
Yeah, it works into decks like security. It works into any red restriction. It's just really good.
It's just a generically good card. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
And Sec +1 is always relevant.
Yeah, the Sec +1 is fantastic.
Yeah.
All right.
Stacked card.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think in context of BT07, it's like an 8 tier, but in context of like the deck in the future, it's an S tier.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, and then Dorugora. So your turn for each X antibody card in this Digimon traits, it gets plus 1,000 DP. So it's only your turn, unfortunately. When attacking, you may place one card with X antibody from its trait to the bottom of this Digimon. If you delete up to 2 of your opponent's Digimon with play cost less than or equal to this Digimon sources. So we calc the math on this. And I believe it ended up being on the first Dorugoro swing, you can end up popping like play cost of 6 or 7 on average on the first swing, right?
It's typically 6. I played with it enough to know that it's really, really typically 6. 7 is really rare, and maybe like only if you're like playing Yuji from the next set.
Yeah. So
and even then, 7 isn't super relevant anymore because of how many 8 costs have taken over as the default for level 5s.
So yeah, so on your first swing, you're on average gonna pop a level 4, which is okay. And then as the game progresses, when you start popping level 5s, then you're like in a really great position. But yeah, Dorugora is, I don't know, like for me, it's like a B. It's like a solid B.
It's fine.
I feel like the future X antibody level 6 is kind of outclassed it.
Yeah, but as of now,
It's fine.
Yeah, I think it's
like it has applications. Like sometimes you need to pop two level 4s to stay alive. But that just makes the card kind of situational.
Right.
Okay. Again, hybrids being the norm.
Yeah, hybrids dodging it kind of sucks. But hey, we're justifying buying the sick alt art.
Yeah.
I don't know how it's sick.
Ancient Volcamon. When digivolving, digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon by 3 on deletion. Play a black hybrid for free, or level 4 lower black hybrid for free. I remember when the set dropped Tesero, you were like really.
I was on so much copium for this card.
Really convinced this card was good. I was just like, Tesero, what what the fuck, dude? Like, like what?
This is okay. This, to be fair, this card is like 2 or 3 words from being good. If it says delete the Digimon if it
yeah, if
becomes
it
level
actually
3.
removed the body, sure.
Yeah.
But it doesn't. It
Yeah.
It's just a 5-cost ultimate flare that doesn't board wipe.
Well, bro,
Yeah.
it's actually like a catastrophe cannon.
Well, I mean, for black, a 5-cost evolution that pop a level 6 stack would be pretty good.
If
If
The Five Evolution wasn't so bad when I used Ancient Evolution to warp into it from Grumblemon.
that sentence alone should put this card in like freaking D tier.
That gave me pain
What?
hearing
Ouch.
Grumble
Yeah,
Mon.
that-
Mojo's and Kopi, man.
Oh my god, Tesero, holy shit.
I think it's at least not as bad as Ancient Mega Theory.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
Ancient
yeah.
Iris.
See,
Yeah,
it's
no,
one, it's one
it
above.
is-
It's one above.
it's
The Vedic is
surprisingly,
some disruption.
it's surprisingly not absolutely terrible. but-
Okay, Lopmon, the best art in the card game. Your turn once per turn. When you play a Tamer, gain 1 memory. So for the people that play purple, obviously Tesero and James, how do you feel?
This
I mean,
this
I
card.
tested Ruby less than other purple decks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so here's the funny part. The standard Cherubi list is not that good because it's
it's not.
way too slow.
Yeah.
And what's funny is, if you play the hybrid Cherubi list, you don't play this card.
Yeah.
So it doesn't even see play in its own deck. So yeah, it's
The
okay.
fact that it's uninheritables makes it a little bit awkward.
Yeah,
Makes it a little slow to utilize. I found that a
Oh,
lot.
the-
when I tried
yeah.
using it also not just in Cherubi, but also in like what was it?
yeah.
Malomyotismon in the next set, which is also a Tamer purple focus set or strategy.
I think the
even there it was a
intention.
little awkward to use.
I think the intention is just to make Antilla a 2-cost evolution, which sounds okay in theory, but it just doesn't come up.
Two-cost
Like-
evolution level 5 feels not that great sounding when one-cost
Yeah.
level 5s are running around.
All right.
Yeah,
So, what, like DEC? Where we dropping this?
it's like bottom C.
Bottom of C. Okay.
That's fair.
Yeah.
On paper, it's a really good effect.
All right, pop off. Y'all can have this one. Read it out.
Oh my god, S tier,
Oh!
S tier, instant.
Ice
Okay,
One
S
Scatter
tier,
Mode.
I mean, okay.
Oh, for
it's
the
so,
color?
so hard to say.
Okay. Hear me out. I think Graceful Charity on the body is insane.
It is insane.
All right, hear me out. They both go in S tier. Eyes and
No.
scatter mode.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, definitely.
If you guys
Especially,
wanna do that, I wouldn't complain. This card is nuts.
especially before the ban. This is 100% S tier.
Yeah.
Like this engine alone keep purple relevant in this set. Although without this engine,
Not relevant enough to see that much success in terms of like.
sure,
actual-
but without imagine how much worse purple would be without this
I
engine.
know, right? Oh my
Yeah.
god.
This engine elevate purple so much in this set.
And I guess you can argue that Scatter should belong in S because he's
Yeah.
like the reason,
Yeah.
or the stated reason that Jesmon is at 1.
Yeah, and to be fair, I've been testing the hybrid purple list that Hayes and Dewey has been playing, and I think it's solid. I think it's like a tier 2 deck at the very minimum.
Personally, for me, I've been testing this in 3 Musks still, and like,
Oh yeah, it's
this
crazy.
this
Yeah.
just
Crazy.
turbo
This card
so
saves,
hard.
single-handedly saves 3 Musks in BT7. People actually play
Yeah.
that deck in BT7 because Jesmon
Yeah.
like helps it so much.
Yeah,
Also,
this,
can't
this,
get over. You go first.
yeah, sorry. This engine is just absolutely insane. It just goes into like it can go into any purple deck that you can think of, and it'll be like solid. It's like, oh, what did I put in my level 4 slot? Why don't you just play Jesmon? It's just good.
It's just
Yeah.
the fact the 4 cost. Like, why is it
Yeah.
4 cost?
It's a 4-cost hard slam. Like it is
So-
so good.
4K
Single-handedly
DP,
the
dude,
best,
this thing's always gonna
graveyard
die.
enabler in the entire game.
Yeah. It's so cost efficient. The effect is absolutely insane. And the
Like-
fact that it let you trash 2 from your hand to let you set up drop, it's just so good.
The only weakness is that it has jamming.
Yeah.
It only has jamming when you have the right setup with it, though. The one that Tesser, you call it the pinata. I love that.
Oh yeah, the Demi Mera on top of BT2 Gaba on top of Jesmon Scatter Mode.
Yeah. So.
Draw like 6, discard 4.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So what we're talking about, y'all, is sometimes Jesmon, when you want it to die, it just refuses to die.
Yeah, you ever run, especially in hybrid meta, you ever run into
Yeah,
3
hybrid meta is
tamers
Yeah.
Run into 3 Tamers in a row.
Yeah,
with Ice Lord.
you ever try to pinata your opponent and then turns out you have jamming the entire time. Weird champ.
Yeah, Iceman make a deck claw into an S tier card because you have to play it to pop your Iceman.
All right, Wendigomon. Ooh, when Digivolving, you may reveal the top 5 cards of your deck. Trash all your Tamer.
Oh my god, dude.
When you play a Tamer, draw one. This
This card is like D tier.
this is not it, dude.
I just want to say
this
how
card, this card has the same problem that we mentioned earlier. Why, as the egg, why am I putting pieces bottom of my deck specifically just to look for Tamer? Why doesn't this say, like, I don't know?
Patel sackfested Cherubi a lot, and he tried and he loves Digimon, so he tried so hard to make it work, but he just like eventually had to cut it, even though he didn't want to.
It's so bad.
So it doesn't work.
Yeah, I mean,
let's move on.
It's not great. Okay, after Weymon, it's a hybrid. Not
hybrid.
much else to say.
Yeah, especially in purple it's B tier.
Scatter mode with the pinata, it spawns itself. It's not once per turn. Yeah, it's an S tier
S-tier.
card.
Limited card. Like you can't. It's hard to argue with a limited card.
Card's busted. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Loemon. I think this is actually legit an A tier card.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like
Wait.
purple hybrids just don't have enough
I was gonna say,
reputation.
why is this an A tier card? Let me hear the explanation.
Okay. The fact that this give you retaliation actually in testing it comes up a lot. Maybe not in the pure hybrid engine, but the way you use this card, especially in the hybrid Cherubimon list, this is your main form of removal against a lot of stuff. It's just like really efficient in dealing with threats.
What are you dealing with this?
Yeah, I'm about to say, what are you trying to kill with this?
It feels so awkward in the hybrid meta. It's like you're either popping things that have already used their effect, and have already swung in that, or you're trading with other hybrids.
Yeah.
At that point,
Well,
is the retaliation even value?
Well, here's the thing: when because you're evolving this over Koichi, right? And Koichi give you 1 memory that dies. So this play, it eventually, it essentially just become a 1 memory. Kill something. And you can kill like a burning Greymon, a EmperorGreymon with this, for example. So like it has value in that sense. Like this deck in particular, I found when I was testing into Red Hybrid, it was really solid dealing with like the big hybrid stack that Red would generate for Red Hybrid, and then because the rest of the deck, so for this for 1 memory, and then you use the rest of the deck to cycle back your Tamer back out, so it just gives you a lot of recursion effect with Koichi. It just make the card really efficient in terms of like how much memory you gain and how much card you're cycling. I mean, in context of how good Popo is, I can see it being B tier, but the card itself is just.
I think it's like a high B, honestly. Even given those positive points you mentioned, I think given the fact that we're in hybrid meta, so it's just like really awkward to trade into the majority of the format. I think it's like a B. Honestly.
Yeah, I kind of disagree with the point about like trading with EmperorGreymon. I feel like that situation is something that the red player like should be actively playing around. Like most times when I see or play EmperorGreymon, it's when the blitz like
it's like about it, like clonk the game,
or like do enough damage with a security attack plus effects that like it doesn't matter if you lose it because you're dying next turn anyway.
I agree. All right.
This is kind of the thing with retaliation. If they swan, they've already done too much. Removing it at this point is just a formality.
I actually do agree with that. I think deck cards like EmperorGreymon would have netted their value already.
That's the reason why cards like the BT2 Devimon, great card, doesn't see like play at all anymore.
Right. Okay, in Llama, when Digivolving, you may play 1 purple Tamer with a play cost of 3 or less from your trash onto the board.
Why is it 3 or less?
Yeah, I was gonna say, if it was less restrictive, this could have been a really fantastic card.
Yeah, this is like
maybe Koichi and Kari, like the 3 cost Tamers in purple are just like not
this
very
is actually
fantastic.
Just a 4-man Shine Greymon.
It is poor Shine Greymon.
That's 4-man's Rise Greymon.
Or Rise Greymon, yeah. Not Shine Rise.
I would say though, this does help you bring out like Kari, and this deck helps a lot against getting lethal because you can have your Kari Tamer set up.
I think,
and you have the ability to heal. But Yeah, this card is too limited. And actually, in testing, I've cut down this card
I
significantly
think
in
it's
my
like
list.
Yeah.
a D tier card.
Every
Yeah.
single trivia player I've like talked to or deck list I've seen like eventually cuts down the Antilamons for like Raihimon or like literally
Yeah.
anything else.
Yeah, it's
That's
like a
a bit more
one-off at
impactful.
best.
Okay,
Yeah.
so speaking of Raihimon, it is a fusion spirit, so you can digivolve into it for 1, and if it has hybrid and a source, when it dies, play 1 Tamer from your trash without paying cost.
I wish it said more. I get that playing free tamers is nice at all, but like on deletion is so awkward.
Yeah, I agree. It
For
just
like just the timing of when you want
Mhm.
this effect.
It's not proactive enough.
And I just really hate that like unlike a lot of like the other one cost Evo level 5s hybrids, you get nothing if you then like evolve over this because it's on deletion. You just lose
Right.
the effect entirely.
Yeah, looking at you, Daipenmon.
I just feel like, I feel like Cherubimon as a deck would have been like way better positioned if Raihimon just worked slightly differently in some way. Like
Yeah,
just
this is
not being on
probably.
deletion.
Is this the worst level 5?
This is
Daipenmon, I think it's the
all of
worst.
them are like amazing, but among the cost reducing ones, this is probably the worst.
Yeah, I
It's
think
at
I
least
don't
better than
even.
Daipenmon.
I don't even count Daipenmon, dude.
I
I'll be
think
honest with you.
Rigimon
Yeah,
is like
that's why
a
I didn't.
I think
He's
it's
not a cost reducing
I
one.
think it's a C tier, honestly.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
even for the cost reduction, it just why?
I mean, you still play it
Yeah.
for the cost reduction. If
Yeah,
you're playing
No,
the
no.
exactly.
hybrid side,
I
you're playing this
argue.
for sure.
I think it's like
I
high
argue.
C.
Yeah, I think I argue it's B tier just because it's a one
Yeah,
cost.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
fair.
I'd argue
That's
B
fair.
tier too for because the
Alright,
one
just
cost
because
is
of the
just
one
Yeah.
cost.
stats.
Because of the one
It's
cost.
a. How would you rate a vanilla one cost level 5? Right.
That's
Like
fair.
Right.
That's
basically.
fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Alright, Orochimon. Main effect, when you trash this card from your hand using one of your effects, draw 1 ESS. You may try 1 attacking. You may trash a card from your hand to gain a memory. This card reads really good.
It reads really good. I don't see a purpose for it though.
Yeah, I think it's too
Like,
low. I think it's too low impact for a level 5.
yeah, it's too long Peg Move 5. Like even with like trash outlet that also gains you memory, but that's on a level 5 inherit, which is like
I
kind
I
of
think
bad.
this was like Titamon support because it just screams like that one option from Titamon they got last set.
Underworld Calling.
Yeah. But then you
Yeah,
just play that instead if you want something you can trash
Yeah,
and draw
but
cards.
and you have much better level 5 to play than this card.
Yeah.
It just is the issue is that the effect is not bad, but that's on a level 5 is the reason it's bad.
It just feels like so filler. Like I need
Yeah.
level 5 because I'm making level 6 deck, and I just need something that like if I don't need, I can trash for value.
Mhm.
Otherwise, it's just a generic level 5 that I could just
Yeah.
use to climb to 6.
I
And
think the
that just
issue
like
is
doesn't cut anymore. You want level 5s that actually do something in this meta.
I think the issue is too with this card is the second effect is when you attack you have to discard instead of like when you just discard a card gain the memory. So it would have like not passed turn on a Titamon play, which is
Alright.
really unfortunate.
I think we're spending too much time on
On
purple. though.
Orochimon? Alright, where are we rating
Yeah.
Orochi? Like
I'd say D.
D? I can see like low C.
Yeah, it's just I see. It's not terrible.
High D, low C.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just somewhere in that range.
Yeah.
Nidhoggmon on the other hand though.
A tier.
Yeah,
A tier
this
card.
is a good
A
card.
tier at least,
This
yeah.
is a good card.
Yeah,
When you trash
this
this
is-
card from your hand for an effect, gain a memory when digivolve. We don't care
That's
about
all
the
you need to read.
digivolving. Yeah, we don't-
the best level 6 that you will never evolve into.
yeah, this
Exactly.
this is
Well,
a good
I've had moments where evolving into it was a play,
Yeah.
but it's like those are like really extraneous circumstances.
It let you play it let you delete a level 4, which is hybrid, I guess.
Hey, it trashes cards when you evolve into it, so it triggers other
Yeah.
Nidhoggs.
Yeah.
Nidhogg is a really good enabler because it gives you the memory for cost.
Mhm.
And then Ancient
It's keeping
Sphinxmon.
Lilith alive, especially.
Oh yeah, but
It's one of the
okay,
factors.
Ancient Sphinxmon. When digivolving,
my
you may delete one of your Digimon with 10 Warrior or Hybrid to delete one of your opponent's Digimon, whose level is less than or equal to that, and on deletion play one level 4 lower.
I'm
purple
gonna let Tesero go.
Wait,
I know
this
he has very strong
Put
feelings
this
about
in,
this
like
card.
FFF tier. I wanted this card to work so bad, but it's like so not worth
Tesero
it. It's like
coped so hard about this card on release.
I know I coped because it's like, oh, it can delete itself, and then I can trigger on deletions like promo Demi Devi and play Dan Devimon. It didn't work. It sucked ass.
Yeah. That's all that need to be said. Let's move on.
Alright, hello. Where's Ancient Volcomon? It's at least better.
Put it at
It's
the bottom.
the
It's
bottom.
not better than anything. It's so unvalued.
Wait, come on,
You
dude. It's better
delete
than
something,
Ancient
delete
Kaze
something,
at
that's
least.
the
It's
same
at least
thing.
better than Ancient Kaze, man. Ancient
Is it?
Oh god.
I would say no. I would say even Ancient Kaze has after.
Really?
Because Ancient Kaze doesn't yeet your own stack.
Okay, okay. Cherubimon on the other hand.
Imagine this, right?
Oh god.
It's 5 cost for Chaos Gallant that doesn't even bring you back a body.
What do you mean,
And
bro?
you
On
and you
deletion,
and you
play
need to delete
hybrid.
the same level. So you can't even delete a Reki to delete the level 5s.
Alright, I think Cherubi, if you cope hard enough, is B tier.
I think it's A tier.
I think it's a good card. I think it's like a high B, but
I don't think it's cope. I think this card, like Cherubi as a deck, had top, and it had a lot of people who are like messing with it and seeing success. I think it's just like the hybrid meta is a little awkward for Cherubi on paper, or potentially. It's hard to like word it, but like I think Cherubi is good.
yeah, I
It just
actually do agree with Tesero. I think Cherubi in the hybrid meta is kind of awkward, but Cherubi as a card itself is really good. We've seen Haze
Wow,
and huh?
I didn't expect Tesla to fight with this guy. Okay.
no, I think it's good.
I
I think just
No.
with a little bit more support and maybe just like a slightly different meta, this could be like a
Right.
contender for
Yeah,
like top tier.
I think
I just know you didn't test this deck much, so I just didn't think you believe in the
I
card.
didn't test it, not because I didn't believe in it, but because I have a friend that was already testing it.
okay.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
So my thoughts on Cherubi is that it's really awkward in BT7, because hybrid meta and because its support line is just dog water. But we've seen what Dewey and Hayes' list can do with the yellow base, and it looked really good. Like, it actually looked really good. Like, I would feel confident taking that into a tournament. Low-key.
Mm-hmm.
I think Cherubi at the bare min is like a high B tier card, honestly.
Yeah,
This will
high
top some
is
locals, for sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's high B to A tier.
Yeah, like somewhere in that range. Nemon is on play a Tamer with an inherited effect from your hand without paying cost, and during both players' turns, when a Digimon with Tamer and its source is deleted, you may play a Tamer from your trash without paying cost. This card reads better than it actually performs. And
Yeah,
it has
I
performance
don't-
anxiety.
Yeah, I don't think it saw a lot of play. Not a lot of people play it.
No.
You generally want to play the other white level 3
Yeah.
that supports
Yeah,
hybrid.
I think that was only
Yeah.
played in the red blue hybrid build.
Nemon,
No,
not even then, bro. I think Nemon is like,
but
I think
I tried.
I think it reads better than it performs. I think it's like a B tier card. Or yeah, a C tier card.
yeah, but
like a C.
but the art is S tier.
Yeah, the art is.
Oh
S
yeah,
tier.
the art's
I tried it for like a bit, and like the problem I've had most with it is the fact that like once you play that Tamer from your hand, after playing this from your hand, you go -2 in hand size,
Yeah.
and then it's like your hand starts to look really, really small.
Unless you're playing Zoe.
Now, Brokomon, on the other hand,
That's
Man.
two.
Oh my god.
S tier card.
Yeah.
High
In this
A.
format?
I'd
High
say it's A
A.
tier.
Yeah.
High A. High A.
High
Yeah,
A.
this isn't like an auto include in every hybrid. I've seen a lot of people like cut this a little
Okay, so
because it is
It's not.
possible.
Yeah, it's not absolutely busted, but it's quite good.
Okay.
If you leave this card on board, it becomes a big problem.
yeah, okay, so on play, reveal top 5 cards of your deck, add 1 card with hybrid, or 10 warriors, and 1 tamer to your hand. Once per turn, when your tamer digivolves, gain 2 memory. This card is really, really good. It turns all of your level 4 hybrids into 0 cost evolutions. That's just fantastic.
It's crazy.
You get bonus
Immediately.
bonus point if you watch Ghost games.
True. So why I don't think Bokomon is an S tier card? It's a white level 3. So obviously it has deck building constraints built into it, but also it's just super easy to snipe. So if you pass turn on this after getting the on play, I mean it's no better than Flamemon and Strabimon. And it's
In that case, it's still just it's still a searcher rookie
yeah, it is
that,
still
like-
such a rookie, of course.
that ate a removal.
Yeah, it's so I think
They don't-
Bokomon, if it sticks, it's like an S. But
Yeah.
but what are the odds it sticks?
So I want to just say I like that it is still a magnet for getting sniped.
Yeah,
Like your
mhm.
opponent has to prioritize this over other like plays.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I like that effect. It's a sponge essentially. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, your opponent will 100% pop this over a level 4 stack.
Yeah, I think
Like-
Bokomon is probably like the best
Because the
A-tier
punish for
card.
not doing that is huge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's ginormous.
It basically has decoy.
it's a magnet.
It is a magnet. Okay,
taking
Sistermon
attention.
Blanc Awakened. On play, you may play one Sistermon Blanc from your hand or trash at the bottom of this card. If you do, heal 1. On deletion, return 1 card with Jess or Huckmon or Sistermon from your trash to your hand.
This card's crazy. It's crazy they gave Jesmon healing.
Yeah, this is a really good
Yeah.
I
card.
was about to say they really gave Red healing
This,
for like
this,
no reason.
This is a really good card in Jesmon.
Do they really give like Jesmon every mechanic though?
Yeah, Jesmon has every color mechanic in the game.
We don't have bounce.
Oh wow! I
Yeah.
meant keyword
Yeah,
though.
unsuspend from blue.
Doesn't
Yeah.
sound like bounce, bro. Come on. We don't have
Yeah,
every
but
keyword.
you definitely play this card for the healing. It's very good.
Sistermon Blanc is, I mean, yeah, it's a really good card. It heals. It
The
heals.
right setup, it's a free heal.
Okay.
Which is, like,
Noir is on play. Instead of heal, you delete a Digimon, and the same effect on deletion. So my gripe with Noir is you usually just end.
You don't need it.
You don't need it. Yeah. The only reason you play Noir is to snipe Brokomon. That is the main reason I found for running this card.
But Hulk already does that. Though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's snipe the same target that Huckman does, so it seems redundant.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
like,
it's pretty redundant. You already
it's-
have like plenty of red deletion in a red deck.
I think it's like a mid B tier card. Honestly, I don't think it's bad because it still is a Sistermon name, so it lends itself to being dug out by the new Huckmon and everything like that.
I
But
still say it's a C tier. Like I never see any just on this run.
Yeah, I don't know if I
It
can
is
call it
like
B
a
tier.
I think it's like low B. I think it's like very low B.
But it doesn't. Do you play it though in your list?
Like this is
I
the
play it
card
as
that
a
you, like,
one-of.
play outside
Yeah, I play.
of like specifically Jesmon, which I think knocks it down.
I play it specifically as a one of, because there are just instances where like you just take Greymon in your inherited sources over Bowhack, and then your opponent drops Boko, and you're just like, huh, okay, I need to kill that, but I don't have Bowhack, so you have to resort to using Noir Awaken, or I guess CL.
Okay.
CL Awaken.
Okay. Okay, fine. Good enough.
Yeah, I mean, like,
I'll accept.
I think it's like teeters in between B and C. I don't think it's like
Okay.
too crazy.
All right. Next, your favorite card.
Aosmon.
just- D tier.
All your other Aosmon get plus 1000 DP. On deletion, you may play one level 5 or lower Aosmon. Yeah, it's like
Hey, at least it's the 3 evo cost when you're trying to make
Yeah.
true.
Chaosmon rush.
It is technically better than the older iteration of Aosmon. It's just bad.
That's really not saying much.
It's not saying much. Yeah, it's a D tier card.
Okay.
Uh,
Moving on to the most
Oh.
important cards of the set.
yeah, the Tamers.
All these A tier,
Yeah. You can argue-
Yeah,
except for Tommy, who's like S.
Yeah,
and maybe Zoe.
Tommy's like an S. No, I don't think Zoe's an S. I think she's like a high A though.
Yeah.
she's a very high.
She's like a very high A. Takuya is you can
High
take
A.
5 hybrids from your trash, add it to underneath this card, digivolve into EmperorGreymon for 5, and then ESS plus 2000 DP. If you have 10k or more DP, gain exterior attack. Yeah, it's like this card is good.
Nutty.
Warping it to level 6 is super good.
Yeah,
Mhm.
this card is fantastic.
This card ends games thanks to Emperor
Alright.
Grey's Blitz.
Tommy, like we said, trash 3 on play. ESS stun. You handling memory boost something. Yeah, this is an S tier card. All right, good talk. Good talk, y'all.
Yeah.
Hey,
So
Tommy
is
so much, dude.
this like the best was what second best card in the set after just Sophie?
Possibly.
Yeah.
Possibly.
There's a reason the Japanese call him Shit Kid.
Okay,
I love that.
Koji is the same as Takuya, but instead from trash, you grab from hand. And then ESS, when you add a card to your hand by an effect, gain a memory, and the Digimon cannot be locked. Llama, how do we feel about this?
It's a really, really good card. At first, I was among many who like read this card in Magna compared to Emperor and Takuya, and literally, like verbatim said like, "Oh, Red finally got the better effect of the two," but like in practice, playing 5 from hand is just so much easier.
Yeah, a lot less
Yeah.
setup for sure. I think if Takuya's an A tier, then definitely Koji's an A tier, right?
Red doesn't have trash, so the only way that they're getting things into trash is by dying.
Yeah. Oh well, we got analog. Youth. All right.
That's true.
All right, Zoe.
Gotta
Zoe
find
is TK, but it only grabs hybrids and 10 warriors. But nonetheless, it is a TK. And then ESS, all of your security Digimon gets plus 3000 DP. Yeah, Zoe's a good card. Zoe's a really good card.
Like,
Yeah.
there's nothing to say. All you have to say it's a yellow Tamer who could plus 1.
It's hybrid TK. It is hybrid TK. All right, JP. When this Tamer digivolves into a green Digimon, reduce the cost by 1. Fantastic, by the way. And it gives piercing ESS. Yeah, JP's really good. JP's really good.
Yeah.
He's also
Yeah, the fact that you can go into your level 5 for 2 is like kind of nutty.
Yeah.
Having him with Pokemon is like a nightmare.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Kota. Kota is an actual memory tamer, and on play, reveal top 4 cards of your deck. Add 1 card with X antibody and it's straight to your hand. Place the rest on the bottom. Kota's.
I've seen him like see less and less play, but I
Yeah.
personally think he's a really, really good one.
Wouldn't he be B tier
I think
minimum?
he's like high B, maybe low A.
It's probably
I no, I think
Low
it's just
A?
like B. I think just B in my
B?
opinion.
B. Yeah, B.
And
He's been
this-
seeing less and less play. I
it-
like him really a lot, but he's
well, in this format though, he's like the most important.
Yeah. I
important.
guess in this
Yeah,
format he's
I-
important, but his search effect become kind of redundant, and you have better option for memory tamer later on, in my opinion.
In BT7?
If you're talking about BT7, you also still drop
Yeah.
it because
No,
Dorumon
it-
is like not that like high tier of a deck right now.
Yeah.
So I still think it's B tier.
I think it's
Yeah,
like,
it's
I think
probably
it's high
B.
B. I think it's high
B.
B.
Yeah.
Okay, and then Koichi. On play, draw 1, discard 1. On deletion, gain a memory. It's
Just A tier.
it's a good
one of the
card.
hybrids.
I think it's a good tamer. It's just that the
I
issue
think
is
it's the
that
worst of them.
I think it is the worst
Yeah.
of them.
but his
It's the
support
worst,
is
but-
also
It's still in
Yeah.
that list.
his line is also just not good.
Yeah, but he himself,
Yeah.
it's Demi-Meramon effect on play. That's really good. And then onto the options, finally. Jeez. Flame memory boost. This is bad. This is really bad.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought it was good, and no one ever played it.
I
And
don't think
that
I
proves
think
the
it
point.
reads really really badly, because it's until the end of the turn you get +1 security attack and you're probably passing on this more than likely, and if you don't pass on
Especially
it,
because
then
it's a memory boost.
if you don't pass on it, then it eats up your entire turn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
You
these 3
can-
cost time reboosts that require you to keep turn are really really awkward to play with.
yeah,
You just play Joust with this.
Yeah, you just
most
play-
lists.
yeah.
Yeah, just play
Most
Joust.
lists-
or
yeah,
in this
this is-
format, it's Atomic Inferno, right?
Yeah. Yeah, there's just no
No reason to
Store.
play it.
no home for it.
Yeah, but
So
Fire
G-tier.
Fire Drake Strike on the other hand, I think the card's actually hot. I actually like this card a lot. Choose one of your Digimon with hybrid. Delete one of your opponent's Digimon with DP less than or equal to, and security. You can play a Takuya from hand or trash for free. I actually
pretty fire.
I really like Fire Drake Strike. I think this card is
This
really
card-
really good.
Is 4 cost can delete like up to 14k if you have Emperor Grey over
Yeah.
Takuya.
Yeah, I think Fire Drake Strike is definitely an A tier card. I think that card is ridiculous.
Well, it also has insane synergy with Aldamon.
Yeah, with Aldamon, 12k snipe level 5. Yeah.
Kids snipe level 6s. Yeah, it's disgusting on all.
All right, Giga Storm. Delete up to 2 of your opponent's Digimon with 8,000 or less DP.
Isn't Alda 14?
Alda is wait. No, he gets
He's
14 if you have Takuya.
14 with Takuya.
Yeah.
Which you will. So yeah. Holy crap, yeah. Okay, Giga Storm. How do we feel about Giga Storm, y'all?
It's
I
like
feel
a
like there's just
security
better
control
options.
card.
Yeah.
I have no
I
idea.
Personally think this card is really strong in
I
like
feel like
control based
the-
decks.
Okay, yeah.
The threshold he hits is
I'd
really
say I give
weird,
it B.
and I'd
Yeah,
probably be
B.
playing Atomic Blaster over a lot of the time.
It's just less versatile Atomic Blaster.
Mhm.
It's less versatile.
Okay. Blue Hawaiian Death. For the 1 turn, one of your Digimon gets plus 3,000 and can attack your opponent's Digimon. Unsuspended Digimon with no sources. It gives your Digimon Kakuman effect.
It's a
I
cool
say S
effect.
tier just because of
um,
the name.
It's a cool effect, but blue hybrids don't need this. If they're stripped, then you're stunning them. You don't need to attack over them.
Yeah, I think
You can be attacking their face
it doesn't
instead.
actually contribute very much. I think it's like a C tier card.
You don't have to like actually attack and remove their bodies if you've already got them stunned.
Starlight Velocity, though, is Wolf Claw or Kaiser Nail for hybrids. And ESS play Koji for free. Llama, how we feel?
See, you said MagnaGaruru was my favorite card of the set, but this is actually my favorite card of the set.
It's
This card is super fun to play with, and it can enable a lot of like crazy stuff.
It's
Like I've had games where I have Magna, and then I Starlight
Summon
Velocity at
Magna.
Koji, and then go into
Oh.
another Magna,
ooh.
and you just like get a bunch of board presence with it, and like you can do stuff like reuse Tommy's, reuse Davis, stuff
Yeah.
like that. It's just like it has a lot of really fun applications,
I think
and I think
if
it's a
Fire
really
Drake
good
Strike
card.
is an A tier card, Starlight Velocity is also going to join it in the A tier. I don't think anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tidal Wave.
The meme
Oh, what's up?
king.
What's up, Tesero?
This is the meme king. So many people just want to
Yeah.
make Daryl
Tidal
board.
Wave. Choose up to 2 Digimon in your sources and play them.
Yo, it's 7 cost. You can play it with Bellstar if you have a blue on board.
Ooh. You Digivolve Bellstar into a Zort, and you play this, and you play your Bellstar again. Woo!
Yeah.
Yeah, this no.
This is a meme.
It's a meme. It's a solid meme. I think it's like very high D, low C meme. Probably here.
It's the
Okay.
people are just on cope.
Okay.
Yeah, it's super Kazuno.
Yeah.
Super crazy. Yeah.
Ultra Turbulence. One of your opponent's Digimon, and all of their security gets minus 3,000 VP. I mean,
You'll never see this get played,
why?
man.
Yeah, this is.
No.
Hey, it's strictly better than Heaven's Charm.
Yeah, it is better than Heaven's Charm. All right, Electric Rush though. One of your Digimon gets plus 3,000 DP if you have 3 security tag. I mean 3 security exactly. Unsuspend 1.
I love this card so much, dude.
This card is Paul.
This card is super fun.
I want to give it B tier. I can't give it A
No,
just
it-
because
yeah,
of like
it's
how
a B.
inconsistent. But I'd say B.
It is a B. I agree.
Yeah, it's wild. Let's you unsuspend your
Lord Knight.
Lord Knights.
Yeah.
All right, quali. I don't know. Rosinmon related option that isn't very good.
It literally says Rosinmon on it.
It-
You have to be playing specifically
It
Rosinmon.
only works with Rosinmon, and Rosinmon is not a good card. So as one,
D tier?
D tier.
yeah, it's a D tier card. Thunder Laser though is Flower Cannon for 1 if you have Hybrid or 10 Warrior. That's it. It's good. It's a good card. I feel like it's high B though because
high B.
resting cards is
Yeah,
not
it's
exactly
solid.
super potent this format.
It's an option card, so
Dino Memory Boost. It's
Dino
Flower
DNA.
Cannon that is a memory boost and
summons with the
Same
same
tier as Flame
with,
Memory
yeah,
Boost.
yeah.
This is the flame one.
Mugen. Cool name.
Whoa.
But
Kill it, please.
it's bad.
Yo, it's for Debilitation again
Uh,
from BT1.
okay.
Just slightly different.
Metal Cannon. Choose one of your X Antibody Digimon. Draw 1 for each of your Digimon's Digivolution sources. It's a really nice consistency booster.
It's really
It
funny
really-
when you're like popping off with X Antibody, but it's very much a win
Yeah,
more
it is
card.
a win more card.
Yeah.
I agree. I think.
It-
You're
it-
drawing
it-
enough of Dorumon if you're popping off anyway.
I think.
Yeah, it read very well, but in practice it doesn't come up that much.
It's funny when you play it,
Wait.
Yeah.
especially like on on TTS or something, where you're just like swoop all
Alright.
these cards in your hand.
All right. Can you guys keep talking about these last few cards? I'll be right back. Just keep talking
Okay.
about them.
Prime
Pride
memory
Memory
boost.
Boost.
How do you feel, Tesero?
I don't know. This is specifically Dark Knight support, I guess. At least that's what it's supposed to be. And Dark Knight doesn't see a lot of play. I don't see a lot of play outside of that. I think I've seen like maybe 1 or 2 like X Antibody lists run it to like find.
I've actually seen this in
Dorumons.
MetalGreymon.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's
yeah,
it's like
I
good
know that.
support for
Yeah, it
black
trashes
rush
the rest.
decks.
So it's like for decks that like want to trash and black that wants to trash cards.
Yeah,
I'd
It's
say
neat.
it's-
I think it's like
That's like a C
it's like
tier.
a C tier.
I don't
It-
know.
and
I feel
it-
like Command Draft, the way that people are building it now, probably don't have space for this because they'd rather have that dedicate their options to removal.
Yeah, fair enough. So, I
Next
think
one's
C.
Brave Metal.
Yeah.
Oh, you go first.
No, I think Tesla
Oh.
has a lot to say about Brave Metal. He plays it.
Okay.
I played it. It's super inconsistent though. I hate that like when you need a removal, it's usually when you don't have your level 6 on the board with a bunch of sources under it.
So what would you grade
So
it?
in 5 cost, like for popping a level 6 is fairly efficient, but it's like not efficient enough in the current landscape.
Yeah. Usually when you want to play removal, it's because you don't have a body on board. But this requires you to have a body on board, so it's just kind of, right?
Like the only times I've like it's been really really good for me, and like those really rare moments where like I activate it from security and it saves my butt. But that's like super like rare circumstance.
Okay. Yeah. I say this card's like C tier.
C tier. All right.
Yeah, see it here.
Calling
Next
from the
one.
darkness.
Calling from Darkness. All right, Tesla,
Oh,
go.
this card's
Alright,
insane.
which card are we
This
talking
has to
about?
be
Called from
Calling
Darkness.
from Darkness.
from
Alright,
darkness.
real quick. What did we rate Prime Memory Boost?
C, C and C.
Alter Seas.
Okay. Alright, and then yeah,
Right.
Call from Darkness. Holy crap, this card is broken.
Yeah,
And if
Tesla,
you're judging
go.
purple cards on their own, this is probably S tier.
This
Yeah.
has to. I feel like
Yeah,
this
I think
like
this is an
has
S
to be
tier
S
card.
tier.
It's also works so well with the freaking Eismon, man.
This card is
too
absolutely nutty
good.
with Iceman.
It
Like,
is.
oh, you think they ran out of Iceman? They bring out their Iceman scatter mode. They play Calling
And
from
they
Darkness,
do it
pop
again,
it,
baby.
and then they get 2 free body off of it.
Yeah.
absolutely nutty.
One memory summon
Best of
2
deletion.
level 4s is something else.
Yeah. It's,
Honestly, the best self deletion enabler in the whole game right now
Oh,
because
yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, of course.
unlike something like Deathclaw, it doesn't require you to gain for your opponent to have anything on board to gain value.
It
Yeah,
also
you-
has
Stuff
it's
up.
so unrestricted in terms of what it grab because it grab any purple Digimon. It's not even specifically by grade or by level or anything. It's
You already
just
play-
two yep, two
If you have
Digimon.
nothing on board, you don't have to delete anything. Just like
Yep.
when playing Guitar Security.
Yeah, it's just
So
such a good card for one cost.
All right, and then Schwartz.
I personally think
Lazar.
it's S tier. This card's
Yeah.
insanely strong.
Yeah, this
I
card's really good.
I
Yeah,
actually have an argument against it being an S tier just because I think since we're in a tamer or like hybrid meta,
I think it's an
so
A.
people
I
can
think
like
it's an
hide
A.
in their tamers. Yeah, people
Yeah, I
can
think it's A.
hide in their tamers, so it's not as
So-
impactful. But it's just it's such a
Eh,
ridiculous card.
My
You
thing
guys
is with
say
it,
this is one of those
is
cards
that
that lock us into the hybrid meta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is like if you're playing yellow hybrids, you need like a board.
Yeah, it's really funny
F.
that this is more impactful in yellow hybrid than it is in purple.
Yeah, that's because just purple in general doesn't have like a good control strategy that it
Yeah.
can play to utilize this.
Yeah,
It's-
I think A
Purple
tier. I
hybrids
think
as a
it's
deck doesn't play the same way yellow hybrids does. The way yellow hybrids play really love this effect.
yeah, A tier for this is fair.
Karan, what are you gonna say?
I was just saying this card's like it's just extremely cost efficient. Yeah, it's not Tesero said it's not that great in purple while it is in yellow. The fact that yellow can still use this and just abuse the living crap out of it because killing level 5s or less and just potentially was it like going to be 4 or 5 level 5s you're going to be killing like it's a lot of value from it.
Yeah.
And then this format like you're not going to be able to kill a mega, but you're playing yellow so you're still going to have like a way to kill a mega, like whether through Shine or Susanoo, etc. Like just having an extra spot removal is always really nice.
Yeah, I definitely think with all the merits, but given the context of the format, I think it's like a high A tier card. But
Yeah.
Ultimate Sacrifice, play one purple level 5 Digimon from your traps without paying cost. If you have 10 or more, you can play a Lucemon instead.
I think this is an A tier card.
This card is
Yeah.
annoying. This card is super annoying to deal with. What?
Yeah,
Notice
this-
how all these like
But
really
the
good
important part is
options.
it enables your on play effects.
How
That's the important part.
notice how all these like really good options also have like that same ability and security as well. So like summoning a Lucemon on your opponent's turn is
Broken.
Yeah, it's
that's just
nuts.
yeah.
This is one of those cards where you just hate life when you see it in the security.
Can you
Is
wait,
he-
just wait until Chaos mode and Larva mode? Or
Yeah.
Satan mode? My bad, not in Chaos mode. Satan mode.
Shadow Lord mode.
Yeah, this is even more devastating in hitting a Gaia Force insecurity.
Yeah, actually though. And then Ancient Evolution. It's 0 cost. If you have hybrid, then you can ignore the color restriction. One of your level 4 Digimon can digivolve into a Digimon of the same color, and it has 10 warrior.
Ah, yes, the copium enabler.
Yeah,
This is the mask you put on to snuff the copium for any ancient that you like.
is this the reason why all the ancients are so bad?
Probably
I mean,
to some
this-
extent.
If this card was like searchable, I think ancients as a general would be a bit more playable. It's just not consistent enough. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just the ancients themselves, a lot of them just don't do enough to like.
Yeah, this is almost like their test bed for
It-
X
It
antibody.
feels like a bait. This option feels like a bait.
Yeah,
It's
Yeah,
definitely a
they do
bait card.
think The ancients are playable.
It's too
I don't think it's a
inconsistent.
bad bait card.
It's not a.
I
bad
don't
card.
think it's B
C
tier
tier.
though,
You got
dude.
C?
It's definitely a C tier. C tier at highest, dude. If
At
you want to be
highest.
generous.
All right. I know a lot. I think a lot of English players are gonna fall for the bait. I think a lot of English players are gonna. buy it.
That shouldn't mean it's a good
Yeah.
tier. Then
No,
dude.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying they will. They will end up doing it.
Well, I think
like I
it's
did.
also the two best ancient card are in color that can already work.
Yeah, they already have
Two.
warps.
Yeah,
Like I think
Yeah.
a lot of people because this card reads really good on paper.
right.
It's just
I think you need just a good ancient for it first too.
yeah. In practice, it's not.
And a way
super-
to find it too. That's
Yeah.
like the issue there too. It's like it's like an engine, right? Like you're running the ancient card plus this. It's like a small engine, but like as an engine, it just doesn't work because you just need to have all these pieces you need to find.
Mhm.
The ancient on its own isn't super great without this, and this on its own doesn't do anything without the ancient or a hybrid on the board.
But
All right.
All right.
And then finally the secret rares. Lucemon. Your Lucemon can digivolve into the bro. We never use that effect. That effect never comes up. For every 10 cards in your trash, reduce the play cost by 3. On play or when digivolving, delete one of your opponent's Tamers or level 6 or lower Digimon.
I have so much trouble thinking about where to put this.
This card's so fire though. I still think like that evolution thing is still cool to mention just because there's decks that have technically synergy with it, like Dianasmon, Lord Nightmon.
Yeah, but
like if you play that,
does that part of the effect ever actually come up?
It can.
It can. The thing is that it doesn't come off very consistently, but it's just the fact that it can. And technically, there is a deck designed to play this, which is also really interesting.
That's fair. Okay. But yeah, Lucemon's a really good card, especially
I have, like,
one of
no
the few
idea
cards
how
that
to,
killed
like, rate
Tamers
this,
as well.
especially in the context of BT7.
in tangent with
The best
Ultimate
enablers for it
Sacrifice.
are like in the next set.
Mastemon and all of them, right?
I think
Yeah, I was gonna say in BTO7, I think this is like
I think it's an A tier
B
card.
tier.
I think it's A tier.
I think
as
it's
well.
an A tier in BT7, and then it becomes like a lot, like borderline
Does-
S.
It's
Is
B
it?
tier now and then A tier later.
Do we really
Yeah,
think
is it-
it's like B in
What deck?
I
Well,
think it's
here's the thing though. What deck in BTO7 played this well?
So
Cherubi? Maybe.
yeah, I was gonna
I've
say
seen a lot of
Cherubi.
lists from JP that are like, oh, Cherubi Lucy, that's the deck I want to play.
I think Ultimate Sacrifice lends itself really well here as just like a
No,
really
Yeah.
then you're judging Ultimate Sacrifice and not
Yeah.
Digimon.
okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I honestly, as someone who tests this deck a lot, like the Cherubi, I when that list came out, I tested Cherubi, Luce a lot.
Yeah. You think
This
it's a B?
card, highest B.
Yeah.
I almost want to drop it down to C, but I think it's B.
Really?
Yeah,
That's-
it is not good.
When
guys.
I was
Like,
when I was making my own tier list for this, like in preparation, I put this card in its own tier called "It's Complicated"
yeah,
because like I can't say it's B tier because it's like on paper the effects is better than that, but I can't say it's A tier because it like you can't
Yeah.
actually utilize it that effectively right now.
I just don't think I just don't think it's an impactful enough card in BTO7.
It's really complicated.
Also, it's a secret rare, so
Oh
it's
my
very
god,
expensive.
dude, we're not making a new tier for this. Come on.
Nah. Lucemon deserves it, bro. He's a secret rare.
Yeah, it's complicated.
It's really complicated.
Actually,
Uh-huh.
Susano might go into that tier.
No, I think Susano's in
fair.
there. I think Susano's.
No, because Susano, in context
MDF.
in context with MDF was insane.
Oh,
but
yeah, without MDF.
without MDF,
Yeah.
I think it's still like a B tier card at minimum then, because like the
Yeah.
card is still
No,
good
yeah,
in
for
yellow
sure. Minimum B.
and a couple. I'm not sure about other decks, but like it's still a solid like overall beat stick, you know?
is MDF available at all with BTO7
no,
or
zero.
Scott?
No, no, it's straight up
zero.
banned.
Cool.
I think this. Okay, how I feel about this card is I think a lot of decks can still utilize it. It's still a rainbow secure, a huge pressure pop a Digimon kind of situation. Yes, you cannot MDF into it for 2, which thankfully you can't. But I think it's a little bit more clear cut than Lucemon is. Lucemon is a lot more awkward for you to play it. I think Susano is like bottom A. Like it's borderline. It could be B. Like I think it would work, and it's really complicated. But I also think it works in A because it.
And you how does win rate into this for 5 feel?
You win rate into it for. Wait, how much is it? Wait.
It's 7, so it'd be 5.
Yeah,
It'd be-
and then
it'd be-
with Bokomon, if you have Bokomon out, it's for 3.
Yeah.
I mean,
But it's still past turn. Generally, it's still past turn. Right?
yeah, but 5 for that is. I don't think it's that.
I-
Terrible, right?
I want to.
Yeah,
put
no,
it
that's
in
what I'm saying.
complicated-
Like,
Yeah.
what I'm saying is like win rate is still a card. So you even though without MDF, you still have.
I think
the-
Susano's an A. I think Susano's like a bottom of A.
So I want to say complicated just because like I don't know how this is going to go into the NA format. Like, and it could go either way. It can be really good, or it can just like flop.
Mhm.
Yeah, we don't have data on it because most of the context of BTO7 or not even BTO7 in Japan, it didn't see a ton of play in BTO7 in Japan. It's only later that
It
people
was
started
MDF. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess it would go into the it's really complicated then, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, I think personally,
The card itself is very fair, but
yeah,
yeah.
without MDF, yeah. Okay. That's a fair assessment. And then the last we're on promos.
Well, those are promos. Did you want to count those or?
No, it's on here. So we're
Alright.
already here, right?
Yeah.
Arrow, because they come out in the BT7 box. So Arrow Vegramon, when Digivolving, trash top 3 cards of your deck. If you have a Tamer, this Digimon gets plus 3000 DP. When attacking, no.
Okay, but why?
Why? Why would you? At that point, you just play Vegramon 0.
Yeah.
Force. I remember when people read this and they thought it was broken. I remember this like for the longest.
That's because we had a blurry scan that we thought they gained like
Yeah.
3 memory.
Yeah.
Yeah, we thought that was 1-cost Evo, and we thought that you could warp STVmon into this, but you can't because STVmon is specifically Force.
Yeah, like this
Yeah.
card. Yeah, no, not really.
It was almost there.
It was almost a really good card, and then like it wasn't. Phoenixmon with Sora. It's if you have Tamer, when Digivolving.
Wait, are we not grading these cards?
I am. Yeah, when Digivolving, if
Oh.
you have Tamer in play, this Digimon gets +1 security attack for the turn. And once per turn, when this Digimon is blocked, trash top card of your opponent's security stack. Who's blocking this? Where's the
It's
blocker?
like D-
Yeah.
Where?
it's like D tier. Who's playing this in red?
Of course, Sora is a fucking D tier card.
If you want the when Digivolving effect, just play BT1 Wargrave.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Speaking of Wargrey, when Digivolving, if you have a Tamer in play, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 13,000 DP or more. Wait, really? It really says more. Wow.
More.
It's more. It's more. It's more.
It's to kill Millenniumon
Wow. Okay.
Lore.
You're going in D tier. Jeez.
Playing the lore man.
Yeah.
MetalGarurumon, when Digivolving, if you have a Tamer, draw 2, and it cannot be attacked. At least this is better.
Unironically, this card is like C tier.
Yeah, this is like an actual C tier card.
Yeah.
What the frick, Wargreymon? What? I always
Yeah,
thought it was
Llama
13 or
can-
less. I didn't realize it 13
No,
or
no,
more.
it's 13 or more.
Dude, if it was
13
13 or less, that card would be amazing.
Oh my
Yeah.
god. Okay, Vikemon, when Digivolving, if you have Tamer in play, up to 3 of your opponent's Digimon get Howling Memory boosted. And when attacking, once per turn, bounce 1 card with no sources back to their hand.
No, it's not it.
Yeah.
It's not it.
Not really. It's not it. This is not the wave, Joe. Ophanimon, when Digivolving, if you have a Tamer in play, one of your opponent's Digimon gets -5. When attacking, one of your opponent's Digimon and all their security gets -2. But why?
It's okay with EX1 support. It's not great.
It's just why?
Yeah.
Just why? Seraphimon though.
Actual
Yeah,
good
card.
card.
When
Actual good
Digivolve,
card.
Fire.
heal. When delete, heal. Yeah, this is an A tier card.
Yeah, this is in a lot of lists.
This
In
is
a
like
lot of-
designed similarly to the other ones, but it's just like all it takes is just like the right context, right? This is
Yeah.
like perfect for yellow hybrids because they actually value the effect.
Mhm.
No one else actually like all the other cards have effects that are like technically good, but like they just don't have decks that value them.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
definitely think Seraphi is by far the best campaign card out of all of them.
Look, it's green level 6.
Oh, yeah,
Prepare for
Hurt.
disappointment.
If you have Tamer, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. When it deletes its Digimon, gain a memory.
Yeah, on paper that seems pretty good.
On paper,
just-
it's
yeah.
like very, very C.
You just copium with this and Dimension Scissors.
No, it's like Rest Randomon for like one time, or like
Hey.
It doesn't even
only
gain
one time.
It doesn't even gain DP.
And look, Digisorption support. Rosemon. Digisorption for 2,
Mm-hmm.
and when Digivolving, if you have a Tamer in play, one of your opponent's Digimon cannot attack or block until the end of their
Oh,
next
it's
turn.
cheaper than ST's Rosemon for
Yeah.
the same effect, sort of.
Yeah.
Hey, it's a level 6 version of
Alright.
Korikaku.
But hey, we did it. We ranked and graded every single card in BT7. It only took 2 hours and 23 minutes. Jesus.
Oh my god.
There are a lot
We
of
actually, we actually got man.
There's a lot to
we
say
got
about this
6.
card.
We got 6 card in S tier, and 3 of them is purple. Yet somehow purple is still not good.
It's because the purple cards don't even like do that much. They're just insane consistency boosters.
Yeah, it's just a really Eismon doesn't want to just be a consistency booster.
Oh,
but
yeah,
we have like
Eismon.
one really small, strong engine in Eismon, and Calling. There just wasn't a deck that like fully utilized it to the full extent. I think at best Titamon does IMO because it kind of values a lot of what these effects bring to the table, and of course Lucemon also does. I think that's like in terms of like JP opinions, they probably would say that was like the best purple deck of that format.
Yeah, I mean that's
Yeah.
that's very fair. Cerberus Loop is going to be a really huge deck as well, and I think Titamon is also going to be pretty serviceable in English format.
Yeah.
But I want to wrap this up where we can. Does anyone have any final thoughts regarding this? Do we need to move any cards into S tier? Or are we good?
No, I'm fine with it. In
Good.
context of what we put in S tier, I don't think it's right to put anything else up.
Yeah. So anyone have final words?
Yellow bus deck.
Thank
Starlight
God.
Velocity's Pog.
Thank God Ice War got hit.
Yeah.
And MDF got hit. Oh my, this meta would be
Yeah,
unbearable.
yeah. I think if we had to play a 1-to-1 with JP BT7, it's the worst format in the
There was
history
one
of the
more
game.
card that got hit for this format.
Reinforced
What?
memory boost.
Oh, yeah, okay, there we go, there we go.
Thankfully,
Yeah.
thankfully, holy cow.
Oh my god, this format would have been horrible.
Yeah. They managed to salvage this format, hopefully. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
We'll see.
Yeah. All right. But thank you guys. Thank you everyone for watching. If you've stuck along this far somehow, thank you. After this, we're gonna be doing the BT7 tier list. So that's actually the competitive tier list. This is more so just so you can have an idea of like what do you want to pick up from pre-release, what do you want to sell, whatever along those lines, right? But thanks for watching, everyone.
See you later.